Hello, and welcome to the first session of The Dark Before. Join me on a journey into the distant past. Now, as you can see, everybody, this is the village of Springhome. This is where we will begin. Never mind the fact that there's no NPCs standing around. There's actually quite a few people that live in the village. I just didn't feel like throwing out and managing that many tokens. So, starting with Jizo, we discuss your characters, how they appear, and what has brought them to Springhome.
Okay. My name is Shisho. I go by they them, and my character is Kaydunna, the human cleric. Kaydunna comes from a tribe in the hills, a bit far from Springhome and the valley. She experienced a really difficult time and left her people to go on a spiritual journey, a vision quest, to try and reconnect with her, to find again that connection to her ancestors, that power her ability to heal and to control the world around her with her magic, which is divinely inspired. Kaydunna has curly, really tightly curly, dark brown hair, brown skin, kind of grayish, brownish eyes. She is normally wearing stitched together, uh, like a stitched together leather kind of apron dress sort of thing, and she is also her skin is brown, but she is covered with white ash all over her face and her limbs. Chad, honey, you're
muted.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
It's okay.
Thank you. Next we have Josie.
Oh no! Can I go third?
Yes. Moving on to Jonah.
Hello, what up? It's your boy, Skinny Penis, coming at you with the Minecraft Let's Play. I am playing the character Balro. He is a goblin from the Dead Hills clan. Many suns and moons away.
Like, very far away.
Incredibly far away. And he is about the size, a little bit larger than an average child, but with rippling muscles. He has long white hair because he's a little bit older for goblins. He has protruding spikes coming from his chin and his face due to his demonic heritage and his clan's bond with demons and fiends alike. He has beady yellow eyes, red stripes to signify his clan's significance, and sharp teeth because his clan also happens to be cannibalistic in nature. That's it.
Yeah. So for any of those with a divine bent, or I guess proficient in religion, would probably like very definitely recognize some kind of fiendish influence or aura about this goblin. He's not a fiend himself, that's for sure. But there's definitely something fiendish about him. And after, oh, I'm sorry, Jonah, was that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Moving on to John.
Josie said she wanted to go third.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Josie.
I'm sorry. I realized that I actually didn't write my backstory in my sheet, so I was scrambling to find it. So I'm playing Marzena. She has red hair that's been like braided with charms and feathers and things. She is from a very secluded tribe called the Astrophel. Very few have probably ever interacted with them before, and few of them are actually Aasimar descended. Marzena is as well. It's pretty obvious because her eyes have like no pupils and they're very shiny, and seem to kind of like cut through you. She is unique in that the people in her tribe are all druids and celebrate the stars. So she's part of the Circle of Stars, and she has a very unique way of casting things and looking at life because of it. So she has decided to venture out into this valley because they got a premonition that something horrible was going to happen. And that's Marzena.
How do you spell Astrophel?
Ooh, let me drop it. One sec.
Something terrible is gonna happen. Massacre.
Excellent. Okay, so have you mentioned that to anybody?
The premonition?
No, you being from the Astrophel.
No. I don't think she
Okay.
really leads with that.
Okay, yeah, fair.
What is the Astrofield?
Yeah,
It's
you don't
just
know. You don't know. It hasn't come up. As far as you know, it
What
doesn't
is
even exist.
AstroTurf?
For $200.
That's what I was thinking. What is AstroTurf?
It's a good question. It's a really good question.
All right, John, you're up.
Sure. Nama is probably one of the largest individuals in Springhome. She drinks better than anybody else. She can probably beat the shit out of just about anybody else. She's badass. That's it. That's all I got.
Nice.
What does
by
she
the way,
look like physically?
She's about 6 foot tall. She's got rippling abs, massive biceps. Her fucking forearms probably the size of that goblin. She
Accurate.
wears pretty simple clothing, and bright red boots from slogging around. Some people say that she's from some tribe that got devoured and destroyed. She didn't talk about it. She drinks and beats the shit out of stuff. That's pretty much what she's known for.
I
Those two
like
things.
Excellent. I love the kind of woman that will just absolutely destroy me.
Absolutely. So I built one.
But can she crush a watermelon with her thighs?
She
You
can.
can probably crush a watermelon with like a flex.
Like her, just.
One of these just.
What about like a pumpkin?
Yeah,
like a large pie pumpkin.
absolutely. For the plus 11 athletics roll at whatever level we are right now, yeah, I think I can pull it off.
Oh, that's my kind of gal.
I took a feat to get
speaking of-
expertise. If you're wondering on the map, I just said I need
Speaking
to be
of-
better wrestling.
Yeah, Bellis.
Hi.
Hello.
So, Bellis hails from the mountains. She is 7'11". She's a Goliath, and Bellis means daisy, so she was named after a flower. But
Oh.
yeah, it's actually the Latin name for daisy. but she likes to make lots of noise, and the travelers in the through the mountains really enjoyed hearing her beating on rocks, which are actually sounding rocks, which are actually a thing in real life. Very fun anthropology stuff. But anyways, besides that, she learned to play through travelers that traveling tribes that came through, and then one day they stopped coming through, and so she had to go on a quest to find them with a scouting party, and then she got separated because she was too busy beating on a tree. And that's how she's here.
he he can reach kneecaps. Good to know.
Just for
All right. So, Brian, last but not least.
Hello, my name is Aiden. I am a dwarf, but I was raised by halflings because my family abandoned me in this small town. And I'm a paladin. That's all I got.
And I'm a paladin.
Right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah. I fight for the righteous.
Abandoned as a pup.
Aww. I love
Abandoned as a
puppies.
pup. And I'm a paladin. So don't you guys fuck up. Because I will hit you with my wackus bonkus. Just slightly.
Just a little tap on the head. As a
Just
treat.
a little tap on the head. Especially you, goblin. I got my eyes on you.
So some of you, especially Nama, like Nama lives with this tribe. The tribe is called the Red Grasp Tribe, and the tribe kind of comes and goes from the valley that we are currently in. The tribe comes and goes with the seasons, and currently it is, I'd say, like mid to late summer. Like fall is a few weeks away. But there's definitely, especially in the morning, a chill in the air. Colder weather is not too far away. Some of the tribe have talked about leaving early, especially considering disturbances and such in the valley lately. There's even been a few that have talked about, leaving and never coming back to the valley at all. So today, the sun has risen. There was a heavy mist hanging over the village, but as the sun came up over the trees, it kind of burned that mist away. So it's about mid morning. If clocks were a thing, you would know it'd probably be about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And as the sun rises and people begin going about their days, there is, in about this area that you guys are currently standing in, there's basically the largest communal campfire in the whole village, and currently there's something of a communal meal going on. So everybody's having basically something of a community breakfast. Of course, there's other people, that are eating with their families in their respective homes. But for some people that are getting ready to leave the village and go about their business for the day, or are out working and doing this, that, and the other, they're kind of meeting and greeting each other for the beginning of the day before they start work. You can see children are playing. If you look over, sort of like this way, you see a couple children playing with a puppy.
Nama is on the outskirts, making sure everybody else can get a piece of food. But while she's waiting, she's working up an appetite. She's doing push-ups without her feet touching the ground. So she's just straight, just deadlifting her entire weight.
Air planking.
Yeah, and then when
Right.
she gets done with that, she like makes sure the line's fine. If it's not, she'll just run over to this bridge, like underneath it, jump up and grab a hold of it, and just start doing pull-ups.
Yeah, definitely. That's okay. So I haven't set up any sort of like line of sight or anything because I want you guys to be able to see the whole map because pretty much everywhere on the map is reachable. But right here we have a wall. We have another wall right here and right here. And these areas are actually, well, some of these areas are actually raised. And we'll sort of go through that whenever it comes up. But yeah, there's let me see, a gate right here, some walls, walkways and stuff. So just be aware this this map, the way that the village has been constructed here in this region is multi-leveled. But it's also defensible.
What part of the map is the bonfire and the meal? Or the
Right
campfire
here.
and the meal?
Actually, let me just grab a little thing here. I will throw that out. Come on, roll 20. Do your thing.
Doing pull-ups one-handed now.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
I
With
think
a
I'm gonna walk
pinky.
over to this tiny goblin over here.
Starting shit early, huh?
Like, what's up,
So-
goblin?
Smack 'em.
First thing in the morning, Kaydunna would have gathered up some coals from the fire and put handfuls of leaves and twigs into like a little kind of fireproofed basket, and she would have kind of turned it all to ash, burned it all into ash, and she would be kind of within eyesight of the fire, but kind of off to the side, smearing the ashes all over her face and her body to prepare her divine spellcasting for the day.
Marzena, when
And she's
she
keeping an eye on that goblin.
when
And
Marzena,
the dwarf next to the goblin, I hope.
out of curiosity, are these the houses? Like, is this where people sleep, or are these
Yeah,
pillars?
they're huts.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Marzena would have been in her hut. She wouldn't be out here with you guys. Sorry.
Hmm.
Lame.
There's okay, so the village has a mystic. He is old as hell. Like Nama has been with this tribe her entire life, and this guy was ancient when Nama was knee high to a duck. And it seems like he's just been, as far as anyone has known him, he's just been ancient. He doesn't talk a whole lot, but people regard him with much respect. And his name is
Ancient.
Omra. And usually he'll usually go find himself like a nice place to sit where he can kind of like keep an eye on everything and just has like a good view. And he's always sitting with this this wooden staff laid across his lap. He just carries it with him everywhere, and he kind of just shuffles from place to place, sits down, enjoys the view, and kind of holds the staff that he carries with him everywhere. When Marzena came to the village, Omra became unusually active. He came down, he greeted her in person, and he gave her a place to stay. Basically, like welcomed her into his home so that she'd have somewhere to stay. Because he knows who the Astrofel is, and he has actually been there, been to see them on many occasions.
Interesting. So when she's in the hut, then she would absolutely try to be as respectful to him as possible, knowing that there's this like good natured. Knowing that he's actually been there before is probably kind of comforting to her, actually. And so when she wakes up in the morning, she's going to cast Goodberry, and she's going to give one to him first. Followed by she will go outside and give everyone a berry. But before she does that, she's going to take like 15 minutes and lay out some ornate cards. And she's going to discover that today is not a good day.
It's a no bones day.
No bones. Not a good day.
Balro will respectfully decline the berry.
She'll just kind of like,
I look at Balro and be like, "You idiot." I didn't say it, but I said, "You idiot." I gladly take the berry.
when he says no thank you, she just kind of like looks at him for a moment and leaves one at his feet before going to the others.
And I
Chad,
go,
muted.
"You better take
Oh
that
shit.
berry."
So Omra's like sitting up here when you find him. And he's sitting with his staff and he's kind of like looking down at everybody as they're eating around the fire. And as you offer him the good berry, he like looks up at you even though he's blind. He looks up at you and he smiles and he takes his hands off his staff and like raises them like this. And you put the berry in his hands and he like smiles and like bows. And he says to you in Celestial, "Thank you." Then he
She,
eats the berry with like a big smile on his face.
She actually smiles really warmly at that. Do you, she kind of like looks around. Is there any way, that we can get water here? Or should I make it myself?
He takes the staff and he turns and he points. You can actually see there's a stream that runs through the village down here.
Ooh. Functional. Nice.
It looks like when it heads off this way, you can see this way basically goes towards like a bunch of rocky forested areas that turn into cliffs that turn into mountains. So basically if you follow the stream this way, there's caves and stuff that this stream comes out of.
Ooh.
And then it flows down here through the village and down into the valley.
Nice. I think she would pull out like a very well-worn kind of narrow cup and go over to the water. And after filling it up, she would return and offer it to him first before taking a sip herself.
Again, he like bows his head and accepts the water. And he says, thank you. And then he says to you in Celestial again, "Your wings look lovely today."
She kind of like scrunches her face at that and looks at him. They are not out yet. What are you talking about? And she actually kind of turns her head around and like looks behind her, trying to see if there's anything there. And she kind of does like a little spin around, trying to, like a dog trying to catch its tail.
He just looks up at you and smiles this big smile that like reaches all the way to his blind eyes and just laughs and says, "No, I assure you, they look wonderful."
She's a little confused, but she just nods respectfully and goes over to take a seat by the fire. And also, if no one else has received a berry yet, she'll like continue wandering around to distribute.
By the time you get over to Nama, she's found a specific post in the wall that's like set against the rocky outcropping there. There's a loud kind of clacking noise throughout the village as she's just throwing her fists into it, and you can see that there's like the post next to it, and the post like have very definitive like fist marks from when she's done this before. She takes the berry and she goes, "Thanks." And
As Nama goes back to punching, there's a guy that comes out here. He stands up here, and he's like standing up on this cliff over here, and he's yelling at Nama. If you understand the tongue of the valley, or the word of the valley, he's saying, "Hey, I told you to stop that!
And I told
I
you this
have-
boat's just fine. There's not
I
protecting
have
anything
to
from
replace
anybody.
these. I have to fix that."
You don't have to fix it. This one hasn't been fixed. I look up at him.
Ah!
One of
You like
these.
glare at him, and he goes,
One of
"Ah!"
those.
and he like runs away.
I get one of these.
You want a knuckle fist sandwich? I'll give you one.
So
What's a sandwich?
Marzena
What's a
regards-
sandwich? Sorry, go ahead, Josie.
but Marzena like regards this encounter like very curiously and kind of tries to like size up this large scary woman. But after a moment, she kind of like thinks about it, realizes it's probably training, taps her on the shoulder, gives her a guidance, and says, "Good luck with your thing," and then walks away.
I would say the most peculiar bit of it is it's not just like probably what Marzena's seen in a lot of people, just raw, stupid punching. You can see that she's moving and like actually throwing these punches in sequences. And so you're actually starting to go, maybe there's a lot more to it than just punching a tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's literally like you're seeing the same move executed in the exact same way, just you
Over and over.
Yeah, just utilizing like different combinations. So it's like
Bellis
every
has
time,
her rhythms.
right?
Nama has hers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Every right hand jab is like precise in the exact same.
Yep.
And speaking of Bellas, she's drumming.
I know it's not that, but I will always
I asked
stick
this
with it.
goblin if he's going to steal my loot.
Considering that you're probably speaking a language he doesn't understand.
Good.
He's just staring at you like. He's
I know
slowly he slowly inches away from you, but notice that you follow him. He's just gonna stay there.
I'm going to move closer.
It's like that meme of the kid running away from his mom.
I'm like circling this goblin. I'm like, ah.
I'm walking away. I'm still following you. I'm running away. I'm still following you.
So who would have?
These two are gonna be best buds.
We are.
So who?
We're
who
going to
was-
find all the loot together.
Don't know what was that?
Who was the individual that allowed Balro to stay?
You kind of just rolled into town this morning, and amid all the hustle and bustle, you sort of just ingratiated yourself into the crowd. Like, people keep looking at you, and they're like, "That's weird. Must be somebody else's problem." And so far, that's pretty much like you haven't done anything overtly like hostile or anything like that, and the tribe
Yeah.
itself is usually pretty welcoming to outsiders.
So Aiden's peculiarity isn't actually unfounded. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Whose husband is this?
Like that meme. Whose horse is that?
Whose horse is that? Whenever someone stares at Balro, he's just gonna open up with a wide toothy grin.
Okay,
Love
Duncan
it.
is definitely staring and clocking that demonic appearance. If Marzena comes around with a berry for Kaydunna, she'll say, "Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. You have a really nice village here. I can't, as a local, you must, you show so much hospitality."
Marzena immediately like turns her gaze towards. Is it Cardenna or Kadenna?
It's Kaydunna.
Oh, Kaydunna. Sorry, where is her token? I don't see her.
Over on the right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So yeah, she'll just kind of stare blankly. This is not my village, but thank you. And we'll hand over the berry before pointing to the stream and saying, This is good water, so I think we should probably get ready for the day. And then she just heads off. She starts kind of like washing herself. It's odd. She's not like not promiscuous or anything. She's just like washing off her hands and her neck and just goes about
Well,
hanging
hold
out
on.
in the
So Nama runs down, kind of seeing that the food's been mostly eaten by everybody, and kind of runs past the goblin, looks down, stops for a second. New here? In
What
the,
language do you say that in?
I start with the speech of the valley.
Is that hunter sign?
No.
It's the same thing, yes.
Oh, okay. So then,
So basically, like, one replaced the other.
gotcha. Yes, I am new here.
That makes sense. I haven't seen you before. Do you drink?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate. I guess something as small as you probably would have a hard time of it. Okay, well, did you grab food already? Points to the fire.
No.
Did you want any?
Yes.
Let's go. And I start walking towards the fire.
What
Should've
type
picked
of
him up.
food is it?
It's probably some sort of game, I assume.
Yeah, you see,
Is
it's
Is it bloody?
Protein.
There
No, it's
wasn't-
cooked.
it's cooked. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot left, and you know that there wasn't a whole lot to begin with. It was like a potluck.
Yeah, I assume that
Um,
somebody probably kept some aside for Nama, and I'm just going to give my
Yeah.
portion to Balro.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
already full.
there's half a rabbit and 2 eggs.
He would probably discard the eggs and just devour the
If he starts
fucking
to-
rabbit.
If he starts to kind of like discard them, like you can see Nama kind of go, "Hey, hold on a second, that's wasteful. You may not have a taste for it, but food is food. And even though we're currently in a bit of an abundance, it's probably not a good idea to just toss it away like that." I take the eggs and kind of look over to like just some kid, and I say, "Hey," and I show him the eggs, and the kid's like, "Yeah," walks over, and I hand those off to him. And I look to Balro. See,
The kid, so Nama turns around and looks to Balro and says, "See," and behind Nama, the kids run over and immediately give the eggs to the puppy.
yes,
Puppy needs to eat too.
Balro eats the rabbit. And you can see Nama's not terribly phased by like the carnivore nature of the devouring.
I'll
Like
try.
seeing massive teeth tear into flesh and rip it apart is something
No, he eats
she's
bones and everything.
yeah, she's not she just kind of this face that I'm making right here is the face she holds the whole time you're doing it. She's just like,
We're gonna be friends.
we are gonna
Yep.
be friends. You're damn right.
Let's get
Nama's gonna be
shredded.
friends with everybody.
Kaydun appears from beyond that, like, kind of that ledge as she is, like, gathering water into her water skin, kind of near Marzena. And she's just looking very suspiciously at the goblin. And it's kind of like she's making note, like, demonic facial features, wastes food, eats rabbit bones. She is very concerned.
Why do you think I'm following
If you're
this
not
goblin?
from here, then who are you staying with? I just got in this morning and it's been a long journey. Who are you staying with?
I say the goblin's staying with me.
Kaydunna
I
looks
love it.
across the area at the dwarf and it's like, what?
Yep.
I'm looking for a place to stay.
You can stay with me too. We're good. I got this little hut over here.
Yeah, Aiden doesn't take up much room. Points.
No, I'm a dwarf.
I've got a
We
small
can all
hut.
snuggle together.
I've got a small hut, so nobody's going to want to be in there with me. I kind of roll around, and well, the last person who tried to sleep in my tent was well, it wasn't good. Anyways, I'm gonna go talk to Omra, and I walk over to the wall and just jump, place my hands on the top of the rocky ledge, and just like shift myself up so that I'm standing in front of Omra. Cross my arms and I go, "Hey, Omra." Yes, I'm Goku.
Hello.
So-
Mama. Hello. Look at you. greeting all the newcomers, making sure everybody has enough to eat.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just wondering about. I've heard talk that we're possibly going to be moving, and I just want to be sure if we're going to, everyone's ready, or if there's anything that we can be doing to make sure that the way's clear.
Ah, yes, you know people have gone missing. We have hunters that should have returned by now, and my grandson. You know that Omra's grandson is also old, but not nearly as old as Omra.
Right.
Like,
It's like a steep
Like-
leveling of age.
Yeah.
right. It's like Omra's grandson is somebody else's grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you know that Omra's grandson, who is named
Umrah?
Omra,
Mumra.
Brother.
This is actually a great
Oh my
tradition because
It is.
one of the characters from the past of my game, his name was Gar, Gar''R, and then his son was Gar, which was another apostrophe R.
So you know his grandson is also a mystic. It's funny because everybody throughout the village basically swears that like Omra is like a mighty, like uber powerful mystic, but you've never seen him do anything remarkable. He just your entire life, as long as you've known him, he's sort of just moseyed around town with his staff. But his grandson, who is also like one of the mystics of the village, you have seen him do magic, and you know that he was sent away about a week ago with one of the village's best warriors, and that the two of them were sent on a task. You know they were sent on a task. You don't know what that is. Nobody has revealed that to you yet, but it's not like anybody's keeping it from you. It just hasn't come up.
Hunter doesn't really care about the detail.
Yeah. So let me see. That hunter or that warrior's name was.
And from the sounds of it, Bellis and Aiden are the only other two that are kind of. I mean, Marzena has been here for a little while, right? Probably like a couple of weeks, maybe. Is that about right, Jesse?
Yeah, it's fairly new, so probably like 2 weeks.
And K-Dunna's been here, it sounds like just today.
What?
Yeah, I just arrived in the morning.
Balro
With-
similarly just walked in.
Yeah.
Like
What
Balrog.
what was the what were they sent out to do again?
Don't know.
No, nobody knows.
Gotcha.
And then Aiden, you've been with the
But then,
group for a while, yes?
Yes.
Aiden, you know that
Okay.
Aiden. So correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but basically what we had established was that Aiden was adopted and raised by a tribe of halflings that lives basically like further south downriver from the valley.
Yep. I just kind of wandered up.
Right, and the
And-
halflings mostly do their thing. You've never actually seen a halfling. They're notoriously good at hiding and making themselves scarce, to the point where like a lot of people don't even think they're real.
Yeah, but we trade with them, right?
On occasion, some of you do.
Don't need
Like-
to see the actual thing to know that the thing exists.
Right.
Has
So,
Balro run into
but-
I think I'm a
halflings?
halfling, so
Aiden-
it's okay.
Then I think you're a halfling.
Well, Aiden has a bit more like wanderlust than the halflings do. So
Sure.
Aiden has come and gone from the valley before.
So basically,
I'm
he's
not from-
he's the Will Ferrell of halflings.
Yes.
I'm not from the Shire.
No,
So.
you're-
Yeah.
He's a took.
I was referencing Elf, like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elf.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got
I got the reference.
Just want to make sure.
Basically, in a big roundabout way, yeah. You and Aiden are familiar with each other, but Aiden is not like a native of your tribe.
Right. And then
I'm just a fat halfling.
Bellis, you're from here, or are you also a transplant?
Mountains.
Mountains. So
But
the mountains that Bellis inhabits basically surround the valley.
Yeah.
There's
So
many tribes of Goliaths that inhabit these mountains. They tend to move around a lot, but you
Mhm.
know they occupy those mountains year round because they don't give a shit about cold weather.
But you've been with us for a while, is that right?
probably
go.
yeah.
not that long.
Okay. So
But-
that's the reason. Okay.
We just chillin', we vibing,
Yeah,
we
Like,
drumming.
having a Goliath wander into the village and hang out for a few weeks is like
Banging rock sounding cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like basically I'd say the most recent arrivals would be Kaduna and Balro, and probably the most unusual of those would be Balro.
I'd argue either or.
Fair. I mean, everybody's curious about a stranger.
One of them is going into like the corner and like performing some sort of kind of ritual like
Right.
stuff. The other one just
Yeah.
appears to be very feral. These are
She-
both equally different.
Yeah, when
You could say Kalduna's powdering her nose.
Neither of these things are normal.
when it's like when Marzana like approaches Kaiduna with the berry, like Kaiduna's like
Yeah.
frantically like, oh, thank you.
Marzena doesn't bat an eye at that ritual at all. And if anything, she kind of like looks with interest, seeing, you said it was like a white ash kind of thing?
Yeah, it's ash.
Yeah. So it's funny because Marzena has all these white tattoos decorating her arms and on her forehead, and it looks like it's probably was made with this white ash that's pretty similar to what she's using. So Marzena kind of just looks at it and gives her a soft smile before returning to her normal stuff.
Marzena is very worldly compared to the rest of us, I think.
Well, she's seen a lot of the world, but not in the way you think.
Yes.
Spicy.
Mysterious.
Okay, hold on a second.
Some are old angels.
I don't think Balor engages in that.
Engages in what?
That.
Spicy things?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just gamey stuff.
just blood, guts.
Yeah.
Fair.
I suppose I would be asking Omra if anyone is actually planning on going and finding out about the missing people.
Excellent. Excellent. Just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah.
Fucking love it. Okay, I'm sorry. What was that, Jonathan?
Omra, I'm asking
Yeah.
if anyone is actually going to be investigating the missing people.
Omra.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, Zizo. Sorry, I hate to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Omra pauses for a moment, and he you see that his normally smiling face is suddenly like very serious. He kind of like stares off into the distance like he's thinking. And then he finally replies, I have considered it, but well, the village is short on food. People are going missing. I'm almost afraid to risk more.
No, Risk, I know this area pretty well.
That is true. And you are strong. Brave. Caring.
Is she doing pull-ups while she's talking to him?
Yes. No, not pull-ups. Push-ups. Push-ups.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Actually, sit-ups. We're doing sit-ups.
Okay.
Gotta do that
You know-
core workout now.
Yep, core workout.
In
Yeah,
a
so he's
hyperbolic chamber.
He's sitting on the
Yeah.
ground, and you're in like the sit-up position facing opposite him. So every time you like come up, you're like face to face.
Yeah.
Um,
But I know
yeah,
he doesn't see the way that I see, so I'm not really focused on.
Right. You're right. Exactly. Yeah. So obviously he is concerned, but he doesn't want to. He seems unsettled and unsure, which is new to you. And like he said, he's afraid to send others out in case anything happens to them.
Omra, I understand. I'll go alone. I'm the only person of the town who could probably check it out. We do have quite a few newcomers, and what better way to make sure that they're concerned about the well-being of the whole than to test them out. Let's see if we can't find out what's going wrong here.
Her. He gestures with his staff and he points to Marzana and he says, "She is here to investigate the troubles of the valley."
Oh, maybe she knows something. And like I kind of like as I'm sitting up, I kind of drop back, put my hands like to the side of my head, kip up, land on my feet, and then kind of just run towards the edge of the cliff, fall,
That's
hit the ground in like a superhero landing, roll, and start moving over towards Marzena, like very fast and almost intimidating. It's kind of scary actually.
Omro just like watches Nama hop, skip, and jump through the village, and his mouth is like hanging open because there was more he was going to say, but Nama's already long gone.
Sounds
Do
like
shit.
adventure time.
Gotta
Yeah.
do shit.
Busy
So-
lady.
So like I'm like basically like football running straight at Marzena, and then like immediately kind of stop like with that kind of like kind of like the dust kind of moves with me as I kind of stop, cross my arms and look at you, and I said, "Your name is Marzena?"
Yeah, so you'd be over here, you would have skidded through the mud.
Yep. It's like a, and then I just like
Yeah, it kind of splashes onto her, and she just kind of like wipes it off the corner of her mouth. Yes.
I'm
Who
sorry.
are you?
And she actually like makes sure like all of it's gotten, like pulls out a little piece of cloth and like makes sure that she any problems that are there she gets rid of it. So sorry, I sometimes don't know my own speed. But yeah, you're Marzena.
Yes.
Somebody needs
Last
Adderall.
time I thought yes. What are you wanting?
Omra said that you were here actually investigating the people that have been going missing and the problems around Springhome.
Oh yes, the great trouble. Yes. What
Me
about?
too. I'm investigating it also just now. So we should check it out together, I think. She just stands there looking down at you, nodding.
She just
Are you running in place?
Nope, not yet.
Marzana just kind of pauses and says, let me check before we leave.
Oh.
And
Okay.
Marzena immediately like goes over to the dry land.
Mhm.
Probably she kind of like gestures behind her, like follow me. And
I turn and she's over there. Okay, I was about to looks over at Kaydonna and
I'm here.
goes, "Oh, hi, you're new too. A lot of new people. Are you interested in investigating people going missing?"
I am very interested in helping you find the people that are missing. Let's go with Marzena. She seems to
Oh.
know something.
Find the people that are missing. That's actually a great idea. I didn't thought of that. Let's go.
Marzena kind of like
Oh,
holds
wait.
up a hand, hearing like this enthusiasm behind her, and just like holds up one kind of finger. And before anyone can do anything or make noise, Marzena uncorks a bottle.
Is it
And
alcohol?
no, it is not. The
Oh, okay.
entire room starts filling with smoke.
Oh,
The entire, well, I guess,
we're not in a
Well,
hurry
that
yet.
area, that little, it's not really a room, the
Area.
area.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of smoke, so I'm gonna back away from that.
Yeah. So she, let's see.
Kaydonna looks fucking amazed and is stoked.
60-foot
Hey,
radius,
I can't
60
see my drum
that's-
anymore.
hold on, a 60-foot radius. That's
60-foot radius. It's like the whole area. That's what I was saying. It's like the whole area gets smoked out while she's doing her thing.
So she has a smoke bomb that she just lit off.
Not a bomb.
No.
It's a
Well,
little
A
It's-
bomb.
It's she does a thing, and then there's a billowing cloud of smoke.
yeah.
Can
I'm
borrow.
I'm basically backing away from it as quickly as possible, and if like I back up to the wall, like I'm gonna literally jump over the wall and get to the other side. I'm not gonna let smoke kind of get on me. I don't know what's happening. I'm not scared. It's more of just I don't like smoke. That's fire.
Yeah, I'm looking for I'm trying to find a good
Can Balro
I
take
have-
this moment to?
You know what? I'm gonna do this because it looks cool.
Can Balro take this moment to find the dog?
I guarantee you, if you eat that dog, your character will die. Like
Yeah. absolutely.
I just want you to know that. I want you to know that in your heart, Jonah. If that's a decision you feel
Okay,
your character
okay,
would
fine.
make,
Yeah,
Fine.
if this
I
is
just
something
want
that
you
you
to know.
absolutely have to do.
for a fact,
You
You
can
have
do
a
it.
paladin near you too.
the
Okay,
next
do it,
20
Jonah,
minutes
just
is
do it.
just going to be
Do-
me
do it,
describing
Jonah.
my
Ken
character.
Barrow look for a child?
I mean, we
Are you
have.
a child?
That is
I
so cool.
guarantee you.
Oh shit!
If-
This is so cool. I love her smoke effects. Sorry, I'm nerding out. That's awesome.
I think that's 120 feet.
60 foot
Yeah.
Big
radius.
as hell.
Yeah, it starts
Yeah, I
at
think
her
that's
though.
That's
60 foot
an-
radius.
Jonah's gonna eat a child or a dog.
What
I mean-
would be more
Whack-us
socially
Bonkus?
acceptable?
Hey,
The
Hey.
rabbit you already had.
yeah, just
Yeah.
be patient. Once you get out in the woods, you can eat whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, we'll find you.
Well,
a
not
deer.
whatever you want.
No, he literally can. It's like you want to eat that frog, go for it.
What?
You want to eat that slug,
All right,
knock yourself
Grogu.
out.
What's Balrog's intelligence score?
It is a 10.
So he's smart enough to realize that they fed the dog
Yeah,
and they're feeding the children, which
yeah.
means that they're
Right.
giving up resources to feed these things. Which means
Yeah.
that
Hey,
will
we care about
beat
these things and we'll fight to defend them.
the actual
Man.
fuck out of you. To spare
Wackus
them.
Bonkus
Man.
will destroy you.
I just want to
So
make sure
while
you're
this
aware.
Dog.
I get it, and I will enable you, but just please do not make me watch you describe eating a dog.
Or me describe
Bellis
for
will
20
sit on
minutes
you.
how much I'm ground pounding you into the gosh darn rocks. Like,
Hey, Wackus Bonkus wants to hit something, okay?
sorry.
Okay,
it's
so-
6 o'clock. I don't know if you.
Well, everybody, you had your eye on the goblin. Everything is smoke now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
don't worry.
Yeah. So, sorry for the distraction, but Marzena does a thing. Everything fills up with smoke. You hear people like the children start crying.
Now,
Um,
I want to be sure. I was right behind her, so I saw her pull a cork out of a bottle and smoke start coming out. You said that, right?
She held up her hand too, like she did it very deliberately.
So I am very
Right.
keenly aware as I'm running away and jumping over the fence to get to the other side of like the stream there. That
yeah, the smoke is like literally right behind you as you're just hauling ass away from it.
got it. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of get to the high ground and kind of look at the smoke and see what's happening from my position. But
Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah.
And I mean, do you have a preference? Would you prefer if the smoke looked like this or normal smoke?
think
Oh,
we
I
should-
love
mean,
it.
this is really nice.
It's just
I mean,
so cool.
If you want it to look like this, it can and will look like this.
It's cool as hell, yes. And it fits her
uh,
circle very much.
Yes, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So she's absolutely, once this happens, she's not going to waste any time. She's going to start ritually casting D, and she's going to take out her cards. So she's going to, in kind of like, she knows how long it takes her to do this because she does this pretty much every day. So she'll time it so that by the end of the spell, she's going to have the smoke like corked again. She's going to cork it up again so it'll disperse.
Okay, let me see this. So
If you want
this is
anyone
gonna
else
be 1
to
minute.
see. Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna be casting this ritual for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Do
11
you
minutes.
have
11. Yeah, it's like 10 minutes, and then the cork disperses after 10 minutes. So she's gonna start casting.
I guess
If that
if you
makes
want,
sense.
that material component could be your deck of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked.
Okay. Well, I wasn't. I mean, I got. Anyways, okay. Moving on.
Cool.
I will BRB.
Omens from
BRB,
another worldly
BRB.
entity. Specific course of action you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. Okay, hit me up in the side chat with whatever that is.
Cool.
Chooses from the following possible omens: wheel. Whoa.
Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to think of how I can phrase this. So y'all can also continue doing your thing. I'm gonna think
Right.
about what it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Because she's spending a minute casting this, and actually,
Yeah.
what the ever smoking bottle that just keeps growing.
No.
No, it maxes out at a certain point.
Oh, I got you.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's-
it's
that'd
like a
be
long
minute.
range.
to be sure,
So
it's
you're gonna
a radius of 120 feet. It's not. Yeah.
right.
It's insanely, yeah.
It's
But it
not-
disperses with strong winds.
Well, and it says once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes.
Yeah, so that's why
Um,
I'm trying to time it.
Oh,
I mean, this
Like,
is op-
kind of-
this
you
is
don't-
open air, so
you don't have to time it. Like you can just let it stay open, and then when you're done with the
Yeah.
ritual, cork it, and then 10 minutes later it'll blow off.
That's
Right.
true. That's true. So you'll see her in like 30 minutes, I guess, guys.
Well, we'll see
Um,
everything in 30 minutes. We see nothing for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
My
So-
temperament is changing outside of the
She's
smoke.
trying. That's why she's
Make-
trying to time it so it's only like a 12-minute experience max, basically.
make
Can
me
Kaydana-
make me a perception check, Marzana.
Me? Okay. Let's see.
Ooh.
She's in smoke. She's in the eye of
Yeah.
it.
No, you're trying to figure out how you're going to do this. But you think if you close the bottle after you're done casting your ritual, then it'll probably go away soon after that. Maybe. You don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Regardless, she doesn't want people to see what she's doing, so the smoke stays out while she's doing this.
Okay.
And I will message you what she's gonna ask.
Can Kaydana kind of try to listen? She's right next to her, I think, very close to her.
Yep, you're right. Brandon.
Yeah, totally. Like if you're not freaking out or running away or doing anything else and you want to just sit tight and listen, that's totally fine.
No. Can I try to perceive something about what she's doing?
Sure. Are you asking if you can roll a perception check?
Yeah.
Or are you asking, are you trying to like
I'm
listen to
asking.
something specific?
I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out what the hell she's doing. Can I do that?
Yes. Okay. So go ahead and make me a perception check first to see if you can even make out anything in the smoke. Cool. 18 will do it. Now make me an Arcana check, and I'm going to give you advantage.
I'm not trained.
Oh, you're not. Let me see here. Wait a second.
I'm trained in religion and
Yeah. Religion. That'll definitely work. Cool. A 14 will do it. You know that she's casting a ritual.
Okay.
That you're not sure what ritual it is, but you know that you can kind of you can see she's like low to the ground and she's sort of like organizing something.
Yeah.
Or trying to like kind of set something out on the ground around her. You're not sure what it is. You can't make out what it is that she's manipulating or messing with.
I'm getting like ASMR from like the little sounds.
Yeah, you just hear it just sounds like something lightly brushing against the ground. You find it's similar to the sound of like fresh fall leaves blowing across the ground. Something like that.
Very druidic.
Yeah. So you can only really speculate as to what she's doing.
Okay. But I know she's up to some kind of
Yeah.
ritual-y type stuff.
What is that voodoo you do?
Can Balrog try to talk to the old man everyone was talking to?
Can't see anything. Everything is heavily obscured.
No, I know. It's not about getting there. It's the journey there.
Okay.
God, John. Would that be okay, Chad?
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. What was that, Jonah?
Oh no, I was wondering if Balrog could just try and talk to the old man that everyone else was talking to.
Oh, you can try to navigate your way there. I mean, to get to him from where you're at involves navigating your way up onto the next level.
Let's do it.
And then away across the bridge.
I'm also,
You're not like
Run into
Nama.
the
You
wall.
can't just like spring heel
No, I
jump
know.
your way around the place.
I know.
from my
gonna
distance, I'm
find a
also
way.
assuming I'm hearing like the regular villagers panicking because they have no idea what's going on. There's probably
Yeah.
like screams of like, concern, where's my child, etc. As this is happening. There's this
Where's my
concealment
dog?
process of I could have just gone to a hut and gone inside of it and closed the tarp and done the ritual there. Yeah,
Right.
Nama's mind is probably going in all different directions, and
She's
literally
like, "What's going on? What's
the
going
next time
on?"
I see Marzena, there's going to be a very stern talking to, right? That's like,
Yes,
I just want to make
exactly.
sure I'm not losing my
It's
mind.
totally fine.
But from
Totally
what I
fine.
can find, the smoke is breathable, so that's a plus.
Right.
That's a plus.
It's not actively hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Like
That's
at first
true.
you're like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on? Are we under attack?" And then you're like, "Okay, like nothing's happened yet.
Fair.
Yeah.
Don't get me
What's
wrong.
going on?"
I
You
love
can smell like the urine from like that one kid that peed on himself.
or Balro.
So
Balro.
Like,
Oh,
I don't know
no.
who you are, but I know you pissed your pants.
I peed myself.
You pissed my
So
pants.
so with all the panic, Bellis is gonna cast Calm Emotions for the 20 feet around her,
Good one.
just
Can
to
I-
like
Can I
make
cast
things a
Divine
little bit more
Sense?
peaceful. She
Excellent.
Divine sense
not
is gonna
minding the noise so much, but just like everyone's stressing her out right now.
Yeah.
Like she
Like,
can't
everybody
see
chill.
her drum.
Everybody chill.
Can I cast Divine Sense?
Yes, you can. I'm sorry, is Balro already like making his way up the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna need some perception checks and athletics checks.
You
So do
got
it like perception and then athletics. Just roll me one of each. Okay, 16's good. 20. I mean,
whoops, that was
acrobatics will work too.
acrobatics. My bad.
I mean, that'll work too. We can just go
Alright.
ahead and take that. Okay, cool. So a 16 and a crit will do it. I'll get back to you here in a second.
Got you.
Right now we have Divine Sense. And what's the range on Divine Sense?
It is 60 feet.
Let me see here. Pretty sure he's within 60 feet. Yeah. You can see him. He seems to be moving away from the center of the smoke. And he's kind of like blindly, like you can't really see him, but you see the aura of his weapon. His weapon definitely has a fiendish, like a powerful fiendish aura about it, and to a lesser extent, he does too. But
Are
the
you
aura,
talking about the goblin or the person
The
with
goblin.
the smoke? Okay.
The person with the
So-
smoke should be glowing too. She's celestial.
Yes, yes. So
Mm.
just like Balro has this like this faint, almost like what's the word I'm looking for?
Stinky.
Like it's like his aura is like peripheral, and like it's tied to the weapon he has.
Okay.
And just like he has a faint fiendish aura, Marzena has like a faint celestial aura.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To be fair, the text of the
To
spell
be
is that
fair.
the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. So I interpret that as Balro is just really stinky.
Right. Like Balro is stinky, but his weapon like smells like steak and metal.
And powerful good rings like heavenly music. It's basically audio, like visual /
Right.
you know, scent.
You hear like
it's weird.
You hear soft stringed instruments coming from the center of the smoke,
Okay.
or like
She's-
a very gentle pan flute.
Yeah, smelly boy. Okay, got it.
So I tend to go towards the goblin, like just kind of walk towards the goblin since I'm like kind of curious about
Yeah, if
the
you're trying to
goblin.
like, okay, so make me a perception check. Let me see, calm emotions. That's one action. Each humanoid in 21st. Okay, so I'm gonna need NPCs. I'm just gonna have automatically fail their saving throws, but I need Aiden, Marzena, and Kaiduna to make charisma saving throws.
To make a who?
Charisma saving throws.
Oh, what? What the shit? It's for calm
Oh.
emotions.
Oh, that's cool.
You want to be Zen.
Wait, calm emotions is charisma. I love that.
Yeah.
Kaidana
like it.
doesn't know the definition of calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can
totally
also
failed.
choose to fail the
Aiden, yeah.
saving throw as well.
I totally failed.
Aiden was like all business and like ready to lay the smack down on the goblin. And oh, I'm sorry, we didn't even. Okay, so
You told me to
Elizabeth,
roll a perception check
right?
for
Oh,
the
no.
goblin.
Yes. Hold on a second. We'll get to that. So, with calm emotions, you have two effects you can choose from. Which one do you want?
Oh, there's 2.
Yeah. So you're gonna suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. Alternative, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that is hostile toward.
Frightened. Could do
Yeah,
worse, but-
frightened. Yeah, it was more about the frightened because
Yeah.
people
Okay.
were like, ugh.
Right. Immediately, like all the screaming and crying and all that ceases, and it becomes like this dull like murmur of concern. They're like, instead of being like, what's going on? They're like, what's going on?
What's going on,
What's
man?
what's happening? What is this?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
there's
man.
so much
Dude.
smoke, dude.
Whoa, dude.
Can we
We're
inhale
so
it?
high.
This is
I
kind of
That's-
nice, man.
This is kind of nice, man.
I will say, I was like, is the smoke breathable? So I quickly looked at Sage Advice, and someone had asked on Sage Advice, can I take bong rips from the ever-smoking bottle? And I was like,
I think you should be able to,
all right.
Yeah,
especially
why not?
if you have access to prestidigitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on,
Sick.
come on.
Sick vape, bro.
Yeah,
Just like, and then just like fucking cloud
yeah.
forever.
Like at least like fucking
the
like
sickest,
30 feet of it just
the
goes out.
Sickest clouds, dude.
Mhm.
Hezrod needs to get one and just swallow it.
Yes.
True.
Goes straight out the gills.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
it's
menacing
like
that would
smoking-
be?
Just
Smoking gills everywhere all the time.
amazing.
That's like a dread helm.
I love it.
Super sick. Anyways,
Amazing.
okay, so Kaiduna, totally fine. Marzena is now super chill, even though I don't think she was really concerned before.
She was not at all concerned. No.
And yeah,
She already knows what's going on.
Aiden was a bit like on point and has kind of chilled out a little bit.
But I'm still following the goblin.
Yeah, you are still following the goblin. So,
But
But
I'm
you're
like,
not
alright,
as
whatever.
mad at the goblin.
so
I was
made-
never mad at the goblin
Okay,
to begin
So you
with.
made a 19 perception check. That means that you successfully managed to avoid running into Bellis as you're making your way through the smoke. And I think 25 feet, you end up right about here. So you're getting close to the goblin. He's a little bit ahead of you. It looks like he's trying to climb the wall. And actually, with that acrobatics check, he goes right up the wall. He goes right up the wall. He ends up out of the smoke right about here.
Nice.
Let me
That's
see.
cool.
Let me see. Saving throws. All that's done. Nama's still chilling on the opposite side of the smoke. And now, it's okay, Josie. I've also never used augury before.
Perfect. Is that second wording better though? That's how.
So okay, yes, that is better. And let me get you
That's
your
better?
answer. Your answer is probably going to be.
Divination is also a fun spell.
Ooh.
Bit
Okay.
higher, I think, but
Yeah, but it's a fourth one.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. With that, the second she gets her result, she's corking the bottle.
10 minutes later.
What does
Yep. That is actually it's so after casting that ritual, then she corks the bottle, and a minute later the smoke dissipates.
so
There was a gentle breeze.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
it's-
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, then, if the smoke starts to clear,
Yes.
Nama's literally, from a higher perspective, scanning the area, like looking for Marzana.
After a minute, and actually, if Kaduna is like waiting and kind of hanging out there while the smoke is clearing out and stuff,
Mhm.
you would see that as the smoke is dissipating, Marzana is kind of like putting all her stuff back together, and you can see she's gathering and like shuffling a deck of these like really ornate cards.
hey,
K Dunna thinks, what are
I got-
cards?
Yeah, they're like they're made out of like some of them are made out of like very fine like woods. Some of them are made out of like animal horn or like shell material. They have like very ornate and like intricately carved designs and like pictograms on them.
My
Do we-
dear, were you consulting with the ancestors?
Marzana just kind of smiles hearing that word.
No, I was consulting with them.
And she just points upward.
Splash.
Kaydana looks up like, what?
Splash, 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 splash.
Yeah.
Standing over top of you before you have a chance to like get up or whatever. Hey, you're new here, right? You've been talking to Omra though. He's probably told you not to cast weird spells inside of the center of the town or center of the village.
Yeah, you know Omra probably will be giving you some sort of.
And
talking
Nama's
to you.
pointing at you and standing over top of you right now. Very upset.
She just kind of like scrunches her face.
It is not spell. It is
Hey,
It is sacred. I don't. What are you talking? What?
looking around.
She's like looks very confused, not at all guilty. Like she's just very confused.
Nama then drops down kind of closer to you, kind of just staring like into your like if you're familiar with Star Trek lighting, like it just goes James Kirk for a second. She's looking at you and she says, "No magic in the village unless you clear it with the elders first." And then she kind of slowly backs away. The lighting going back to normal. And I'll roll intimidation. No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to be very intimidating. I hope you get the point. Like, Nama.
It's funny. So, like, she definitely understands that Nama seems very upset, and for that reason, Marzena's like, "All right, I guess no more magic." But she's completely baffled as to her logic because not using magic in the village seems very counterintuitive.
Kaydana looks totally intimidated.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, in my village, all we do is use magic.
Well, if it's beneficial magic like the berries, that's fine. But looks over to Bellis and looks over to the people beside Bellis who are like all calm and chill.
Yeah.
And you see Nama's kind of like doubting her resolve. And then she looks further out and she can see like people kind of like coming out like out of like the rocks and near the water. And he's like, they didn't know what was going on. Points to those people over there, like a couple examples that she can see. They didn't know.
Definitely the people that were like closer to the action because
They were within range
of the. They were within range of the spell, so they were like they calmed down. But further outside of the range of the spell, as the smoke dissipates, you can see lots of people are still kind of concerned and confused. Other people are coming out of their huts to see what all the commotion's about.
There's that moment where Nama doesn't think she's right, like, oh, everybody was fine with it, and then
My
she
darling,
sees them.
the smoke. Yes, it was a little bit disturbing for some of the village folk, but isn't there something more urgent that you were talking about just before the smoke?
But then all that time was wasted with the smoke and everything.
She just kind of cocks her head to the side.
Not wasted.
Oh no, she was consulting the ancestors.
Again, she just kind of like tilts her head at that word because that's not how she considers it. It's a different kind of for her, but she just nods her head at that. Yes, we should all, and she turns to everyone that she can see in this space,
head out for the person Omrada, and we will do good job or not. But probably good. But maybe not.
Okay.
What they're doing?
Hey, Bellis.
We are heading out after the man.
And she just kind of like looks around. She actually is really interesting thing about her. She didn't really ask anyone's name. Like she just kind of like settled into the hut and she hasn't been talking to anyone. So she kind of looks around.
Who are we? Omrada, right?
Cut to Balro eating him. I have his mystic powers now. I'm blind, but I can see the whole thing happening.
Chad, you're muted, sir.
Oh, I did mute myself. Okay, so speaking of Balro, he is making his way over to the old man. Are you trying to be sneaky, or are you just walking over to him?
No,
Is he gonna try and eat him?
he's just walking over.
Okay.
Would've been-
As you made your way up here and you came around this way. So, as you round the corner, you see that he is standing. He's standing with his staff. So he's standing. He's got his staff, and he's just looking at you with his blind eyes. And he
Is
says,
he in?
"What do you want?"
I just got here. The people are a little all over the place.
The people of the village?
Yes.
Yes, well. And he doesn't turn to look, but he gestures with his free hand. Says, they don't see stuff like that every day.
The loud one is looking for people.
Yes. My grandson. And others.
Could they be battling anything?
There is many dangers in the valley.
Could I help?
He tilts his head and he kind of like leans down a little bit, like he's inspecting you. And then he tilts his head to the other side.
He does the
He
smile
scratched-
thing.
He scratches his chin
He does a smile thing.
and he says, "You're more of a curiosity than I imagined. But
What do
yes, if you crave battle and violence and bloodshed, there are things in the valley that require your attention."
Okay.
The scolding continues.
And he's actually, this whole conversation's happening in what was it, Infernal? Or
Oh,
Abyssal?
is it?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Demon.
Okay. So then, as soon as he started talking to him in
Because
Infernal,
nobody else is around. This whole conversation's happening between the two of you.
nice. So as soon as he started talking to Balro in Infernal, he would just he would be
Abyssal.
amazed. Abyssal. He would be amazed first of all, and second of all, he would just be like, "How do you know this stuff?"
I know many things. I'm very old.
Do you know who I serve?
I have spoken with that one before. Although I did not think him capable of, and he waves his hand at your weapon, such a
He
thing.
holds it in defense, like this is mine.
It's mine.
I do not know him, but he promised things. I serve loyal.
While it is against my better judgment to indulge one such as you or your master, well, these are dire times.
I do not
There
think
may
he
yet be purpose for you here.
I do not think he wants me to harm people here.
Oh no, that would make me his problem.
Are you old as well, like him?
Not as old as he, not by far. That creature, that craven thing, is ancient beyond measure and has lived many lives. Yeah, it has known great victories and great failures.
He starts drooling at great victories. Yes, victory. This is what I wish.
Well, if you achieve this victory, I'm curious to see if you still feel the same way when that day comes to pass. Now,
Sound grows louder.
as for the matter of the valley and our missing people, I would say you must seek out and destroy the gnolls that have come to this valley.
Knowles.
They serve one who would be of great interest to your master.
Okay.
And they have brought nothing but suffering and misery and savage violence to this valley. And if they
Okay.
succeed, they will become a problem for many years to come.
I will kill them and eat their flesh and gain their strength.
Very well. But if you bring harm, if you find our missing people and bring harm to them, you will deal with me. And then so will your master.
Okay. This is a deal. He
Do I
reaches
have
his
your
little-
word?
He reaches his little hand out.
Like Grogu?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Just like,
Wargoo.
this is deal, yes.
This is the way.
He reaches little fingers out.
No, that's a cat.
Omra leans on his staff
Mumra.
for a moment,
Mumra.
and then he reaches out with his hand and he shakes your hand.
No harm to come to tribesmen.
Or dogs.
And he says to you in the common language, agreed.
Or the dog.
He's gonna run down to the loud, noisy one.
Scolding is still happening, by the way. Josie, you
I'm
haven't
sorry.
escaped the scolding.
Oh, the scolding.
I am still telling you.
Wait, sorry,
about,
that's you.
Even if you're not listening, she's very sternly wording her concerns.
Okay, Donna's listening intently.
She is listening. It doesn't compute in the same way because she
Okay.
doesn't agree. She fundamentally doesn't agree.
So
What's her intelligence?
Not great. Let me double check.
Can Balro jump off this? Can he jump off?
if she does show like a kind of like a lack of understanding and kind of like seems to be dismissive of the concept, I guess the tack that Nama's taking is more explaining as to like what you did you understand, what you did they did not understand. You did not give them the benefit of having that decision.
But yeah.
You made the decision yourself. What if I were to punch you in the face? You would not like it. But I would have no problem with it as it is something that I do. Do you understand now?
Are you doing push-ups or pull-ups at this time?
Your freedom to use your magic stops when it causes problems for the village people. Do you understand?
Again, she's kind of like she sees how upset Nova is,
Nama.
or sorry, Nama is, and because of that, she just like looks very sincere and goes, "Right, sure."
I buy it. All right, good. Glad you understand. It's very important.
She just kind of blinks. It is important to you. That is good enough if you care.
Important to the tribe.
If you care, then I care.
Okay. Let's go.
Balro's
What are we
gonna
doing?
shout down to
Rescuing
the loud one.
people.
Balro's gonna shout down to Nama. I help you.
Yeah, of course.
You can see Omra's standing behind him, and as the goblin yells at you, Omra nods. Just like a single nod.
Nama doesn't even look for like that kind of.
I give the goblin squinty eyes.
But also it is unusual to see him just like standing there.
That's fine. Sitting. The goblin said he's helping. Yeah, sure.
I give the goblin squinty eyes.
I mean, honestly, the goblin could have bat wings, devil horns, and kind of be eating like, somebody I don't know that's not a part of the village right now. Nama would just be like, "Yeah, we need all the help we can get." I really don't have the qualms that.
Man, if you want something to eat, I really cannot wait till you guys meet the Thrin.
All right, well, we'll see. But Bellis asked.
Sounds delicious.
Food.
Bellis asked if what we were doing, and
Marzena what they're doing.
Marzena was saying something.
So, like I said, you would know that like 2 separate groups of people went missing.
Mm-hmm.
You had a party of 3 hunters that should have returned days ago. No one's heard or seen from them. They've been gone for about a week. And the other 2, they left a couple weeks ago. You don't know what they were up to. Nobody's asked that yet. And yeah, they've been missing for probably about 10 days.
Mm.
Okay. Well, Nama will go to her hut, come back very quickly with a bag over her shoulder, and say, just yelling to the village, "I'm gonna go find them. If anybody wants to help me, you can come with me." She'll just start walking out to Marzena in the wrong direction.
A bearded guy with shaggy hair looks at you and smiles and gives you like a
thumbs up, like my buddy Jesus.
Fair enough. I don't know who that is.
Buddy Jesus.
But if he's a villager, I give him a thumbs up back, and I start heading the obvious wrong way.
It's Jonathan Van Ness.
Oh, very good.
So John starts heading east.
Yep.
East? I thought you said east.
So I go to my hut, I gather my belongings, I grab a random rabbit I have, and put it in my satchel.
Alive or unalive?
It's unalive.
Oh, okay.
Jerky?
I mean, either way could be.
Either way is fine.
Moving,
So we're going
Everyone
now,
sees where I'm going with this. Everyone
it better be dead because if not, it's going to be.
Everyone knows where I'm going with this one. So.
Put it on a stick.
Does anyone know, like, so I guess, Nama's, this is kind of semi out of character. Like, Nama is going the wrong way, right?
But so far, nobody knows what the right way is.
So no one knows what the right way is.
Yeah. But I want to make sure that I'm clearly going in the absolute cannot be right, wrongest way. Like, whatever that is the way Nama has elected. And out of character, the reason why that's the case is she knows everywhere else, and they weren't there based on what she understands, so she's going somewhere she hasn't been in a long time to see if they're there.
No. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how you came to that understanding, but
I
no.
don't either.
Okay. Fair.
That
was
kind
of like an assumption.
John's giving us the same treatment as we give him.
I'm making sure that you all understand that I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know how to start looking for someone.
Nama is not the compass of the party.
True.
Yeah. So,
and I know exactly
in the direction towards one of the mountains.
I'd
to
say
one of the
probably
closest mountains.
Here, at this point, the people with the best rapport with Omra would be Marzena and Nama. Well, it hasn't come up in conversation with Nama. If Marzena asked, Omra would most definitely tell her they went east and they were
Yeah,
sent
I was just about to
to
say. She would ask what way he was last seen going.
right. He would say Omrada and Darin went east, and they were heading basically to the far east, which is that end of the. He explains that he sent them out there to communicate, to make contact with the apes that live in the valley,
These
because they might know more about what's going on. So he sent them out east to go see the apes, and they haven't been back since.
Just to check,
And
nobody followed Nama, right?
Bellis
No.
absolutely did.
Oh,
Kay
Bellis
Dunna
did.
would have followed.
Bellis is like, oh, so we're going now? Okay, let's go.
I'd stop after a fashion and go. Where's the one with the smoke?
Marzena's heading east.
Oh,
She
I'm
just-
sorry. I
She
thought
doesn't
you
say
were
anything to anyone. She
the
just goes
leader.
out.
I would say probably this realization would probably come before we left the village, and then we would head back into town, and then we would see Marzena leaving the old man. We would go talk to the old man. As the old man dropped basically the same exposition that was just dropped on everyone besides Nama, who's not listening and just starts running in place while he's talking. Yeah, we figure out where she's going and we follow.
Okay.
yeah. Apparently,
Coney
Nama
Rock Lee.
discovered Bang.
Bellis just
Nama.
realizes that Nama is the strongest and probably knows what they're doing.
Nama is Rock Lee.
Yes. And Goku. And Ayla. from
Goku.
Chrono Trigger.
Nama's
The
just
dumbest one.
Inosuke.
I guarantee I have the
Inosuke.
lowest intelligence.
Probably.
However, you do know the valley like the back of your hand.
I do know
You
it very
know-
well.
You
Oh, that's
know
new.
where they're going. Basically,
What's your
as far as, like,
intelligence?
as far as the territory of the apes goes, you know where it begins.
What's
You've
not that
never
one?
been there before. Basically, as far as you've been told, hey, this is the apes' territory. Don't go here unless you have a purpose. Like,
What are
if
we
you don't
doing?
need to be here, stay away.
So Kay Dunna would like to kind of use her knowledge of survival to look for signs. What's happening?
Oh, we were doing
Shenanigans.
hand camp. We actually know sign language of an effective means of communicating in battle. What we're wanting to say, but with our hands.
Are you throwing up gang signs in my D&D game?
Why did it have to go there? We're not a gang.
Well, I didn't see
We're
what you were doing.
tribe.
I just assumed.
It's
Anywho,
your assumption.
We're not a gang, we're a tribe. I love it. I love it.
We're a gang of besties.
I don't know
Bestie
about that
squad.
I love the goblin.
goblin. I don't know about that yet.
I love the
So-
goblin.
I'm sorry, you said you wanted to cast survival to look for signs?
To roll survival, yeah.
Okay. They left about 10 days ago. There's not much of a trail to follow. However, like I said, Nama knows this valley like the back of her hand. If she knows where you guys are generally headed.
Did we catch up with Marzena pretty quickly?
Yes. Yeah. When like he would
Hey,
oh yeah, they went that way, and you're like, oh shit!
hey, smoke lady! I say behind her as I'm like running up to catch up with her.
No, lady.
Throw Bellis on your back and like start hauling ass.
I mean,
Inosuke style.
Bellis, if you want me to carry you, I will.
I mean,
It's good weight training.
it's true.
I've got a Goliath over
Carry
my
it like a
shoulders, running up
backpack.
behind you. Yeah, I'm literally
Right.
carrying the ward, and she's banging rocks.
It's funny. It's like if this was a cartoon, you'd hear, and first you'd see Bellis's head come up over the ridge, like you. Oh yeah, Bellis is out for a run, and then you just see that like Bellis is like playing the lute. It's
No.
like
In front. Or just like,
no, you're like sitting on Nama's shoulders, like playing, while Nama's like,
yeah.
Fireman's carry. You gotta have weight dispersion. You can't just
Yeah.
straight down on the spine. No.
There's
yeah.
different types of fireman's carry.
Yeah, like
Would you
over
allow?
the shoulders.
Would you
So-
allow?
And then
Balrog?
there's like this.
Yeah, over the shoulders.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just making sure.
Point
Would
is,
you,
go
would
ahead.
you allow Balrog to be on like in that?
So how much do you weigh?
100.
Yeah, that's fine.
60. Okay.
I could have carried you, Goblin.
Yeah, so
You
like,
would have been fine.
Okay,
Bellis,
so
you're like what, 300?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
real
still
quick,
not even in
let's
cover.
figure out who's going,
We're 7-Eleven.
who's heading east, and what's the marching order.
Well, the
Marzena's in
well,
front.
Yeah, Marzena's in the front right now in East.
Right. Because it seems
When
like
you-
everybody kind of
when you
set out.
yell to her, she'll slow down. I mean, she wasn't going particularly fast. She's not running in place like
Well,
the
Right.
person with steroids. So she's just like casually walking east. Yeah.
So Marzena didn't leave alone, did she?
Yeah.
Not like super long ahead of us though. Maybe like
Okay.
a minute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where everybody else is because like
But if you want to throw a
Balro
random
was on
encounter,
board. Yeah, we haven't gotten that far yet. I am gonna have you guys roll. I just want to. I'm trying to figure out where you guys get together.
well, I grabbed stuff from my hut like a random rabbit. That's
Ah,
dead.
yes. You like packed your bags, and you did leave with Marzena, but Kaiduna and Bellis were with Nama,
Mhm.
so those three are bringing up the rear.
the way I understood is we packed first, then left. Then
Yeah,
Marzena
but
was
you
like,
went the wrong way,
did one of these, like,
right?
and
Bloop,
then
bloop.
went and asked about it, then probably packed herself and then left. Which basically, in that short span of time, Nama was like, "Where's the smoke lady?" And they were like, "I don't know." And I was like, "We gotta go get the smoke lady." And then we went and talked to Omra, who probably talked for a bit, as Marzena was just getting out of the village. And then he was like, "Oh, over there." And then I threw Bellis over my shoulders and Balro. And Kaiduna was probably like, "Oh gosh, she's still really fast despite all the weight." And so we charged on after Marzena and Aiden, I suppose.
Sure.
A Goliath over your shoulder and a goblin under your arm.
Nope, stack.
Just
'em.
casual day. Stack,
Oh,
yes.
that reminds me of a wonderful piece of art that I saw once. That I
Yeah, my
A
strength.
goblin under your arm?
My strength.
no, it was just a guy walking through a forest with like 6 people on his shoulders.
Nice. I like it.
My strength score for carrying shit is 25. So
Amazing.
Damn, Gina.
off the multipliers there. So
Oh right. So it looks like everybody sort of convenes just outside the village to the east. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
okay. Hey, smoke lady. I would say as we catch up.
She would just kind of like pause in her tracks and turn around and see this very odd group approaching. It's a strange sight to behold for sure. And she just kind of looks around.
Oh, I thought you were going the wrong way. Why are you coming this way?
We were going the wrong way. You're right. Omra told us that you were going the right way, and kind of told me that you know approximately where they're going, and so we're gonna follow you.
She just kind of blinks at that.
All right, sure. I don't know if it will go well. Probably not.
And with
John,
that, she
I
just
love
turns
your
around and keeps
character.
walking.
I set Bellis down
Hello.
and kind of nod. Yeah, well, just let me know if you're gonna like make smoke a lot.
She just kind of pauses at that and turns around.
I don't think so. Smoke is to protect. I don't think we will need that again.
Well, I just mean like if something comes up and you need to, make smoke, just let me know so I know that there's gonna be a lot of smoke. And if I'm gonna be punching someone, I'll let you know, okay? And then if you're good at punching or throwing smoke or whatever you do to help with that, then you can help with that.
So Marzena takes this in, and the more they're talking about this, the more her eyes seem to glaze over. And when she finally sees Kaidana, she just walks away from Nama and goes to see Kaidana. And lowly says,
Do they not understand magic? Who are these people?
Oh, my dear, I think they're a little. I think the big one's a little scared of magic. That's okay. It's okay to be scared.
Can I hear you
She
guys?
just hearing scared, she actually like that seems to register and she nods and goes,
Oh, right. Right. Not everyone was blessed. I forgot.
Not everyone's ancestors bless them with the power of the divine. That's true. Oh, to be so fearful and ignorant.
Can I hear them?
Right?
I mean, Kayduna is not like shouting it. She's trying to be a little bit quiet, but not like whispering.
Nama goes, yeah, she gets it.
Normies. Girl, these normies. I understand.
funny. Marzena kind of like that seems to click into place then, and she turns again to Kayduna.
Right. Right. Okay. So I guess it's new to them. They don't have many magic people in this valley, do they?
I have
Uh,
Moonbeam.
What is
Kayduna
magic?
will nod. Kayduna will nod, and then she'll look to Bellis and to Nama and say, "It's okay to be scared of magic. It's okay."
I am not scared of anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not scared.
Everyone else was the ones who were scared. I was just playing some music and I couldn't see my drum. And then I started playing again because I found my drum with my hands. And then everyone was okay.
You sound
Ooh,
like
okay.
what we do in the shadows.
No.
I just realized something though. So when you cast Calm Emotions, it did take effect on Marzena. So Marzena knows that you casted something. So actually,
Yeah.
in that moment, it kind of clicks into place, and she turns to Bellis and says, with like a little bit of how do I phrase this? Like a little bit of awe, I guess. She kind of looks at her.
I have not seen someone so big possess such magic.
I don't know what this magic you're talking about. I just play music for people. I just like lots of sounds. Have you heard my lute yet? It sounds very nice. It has these strings. They are made out of leather and intestines. And then my drum, it's also made out of skin and intestines. Oh, and the trunk of a tree. It's very neat. We also have some sounds from these rocks, and they sing whenever I hit them with another rock
Oh, yeah, the rocks are great.
back home. It's very neat. I really like it. Oh, and this flute, it's made from bones,
100%.
but they make really nice sounds. Do you want to
amazing.
hear them?
Okay,
I kinda
out of
wish I had-
Okay.
I wish I hadn't given everybody inspiration to start.
I can't deal with that accent. It just reminds me
It's
of
really good.
what
Out of
we do in the
curiosity.
shadows.
Can I just-
I
out of
love that
curiosity-
accent.
So do I. It's so great.
It is really good though, actually.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
I have eaten 3 maidens.
I do feel like emotionally triggered for some reason.
Why?
I don't know why that accent.
Well,
Um,
all right.
It's a
Hey,
powerful.
hey, Balro, roll me a perception check.
I can't.
DM Chad.
7.
Out of curiosity, by the way,
Yeah.
can I wouldn't say, I don't know if this is insight is the right word, but Bellis says that she doesn't really know what magic is, but when she's talking about all of her instruments, can she maybe roll? I don't know. Can she maybe try to suss out something? Because she could have sworn that she
Are you
felt
trained
magic
in
earlier.
Are you trained in Arcana?
Let me see if I'm trained in it. I may not be. I am. Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me Arcana.
17.
You are very familiar with people that utilize music to capture and control the winds of magic. You've met many of these people. They've traveled to come visit your coven. And you've seen this kind of magic before. But you don't think Bellis is being duplicitous.
Yeah. I think she's more just trying to figure out what she meant by because she definitely
Right.
thought
You're trying to make sense of this. You're like, that's some pretty serious magic.
for
How
someone who
did you
doesn't
do
cast
that?
magic.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, how'd you do that? And she starts explaining her instruments, and you're like, this person has no idea what they're doing. But yeah, that seems to be what is going on here. It seems that I'm assuming Bellis has crafted these instruments herself.
With help, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems that Bellis possesses magical ability.
Yeah.
But
Like,
through the
what-
process of crafting these
Right.
instruments and learning and becoming proficient with these instruments and using these instruments to create music, has created this creative process that results in the manifestation of magic.
Mm. Bellis basically knows that something happens, but they think, oh, that's just what the sounds do.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, wow, my riffs really melt faces.
yeah.
So
Cool.
she's an early on bard. Got it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Marzena turns back to Kaidana and whispers lowly.
She knows magic. That was magic indeed.
Oh, she was blessed by the ancestors too. Oh, we are a very favored group.
She
Well,
kinda-
except for that one. And she kind of like throws her
That was
elbow at the goblin, like pointing at the goblin.
Nama, as you say, blessed by the ancestors, except for that one. Nama kind of looks over down at Balor and says, "What? No, he's fine."
Oh, he's fine. No, he's fine. You're fine. Just not blessed, divinely blessed by our ancestors.
Looks down at Balro.
I do not
Are you
know
talking
this.
about my grandfather?
I do
He's
not
up in the
know.
mountains somewhere. I don't know exactly where they're at right now, but
Oh, my darling, your ancestors, they guide you through this world. Their influence is what gives you that beautiful inspiration to play your music.
my grandfather didn't really like my music, but thank you. He
Well,
thought
just-
it was a little weird. He'd rather me go hunting.
Nama
Sometimes the inspiration will skip a generation.
Nama walks over to Bellis and like whispers, "I don't think these people who think they know a lot know much."
Well, I think you're great.
Could
Yeah,
like
me
the
too.
group hear that?
No, I
What?
whispered it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can
I was
can
doing a
Bal-
Marzena.
Can Balro
Yeah.
walk up to Kaiduna and just ask, "How do you know if you have the magic you are talking about?
Start.
That's a good
How do I
question.
know if what?
How do you know if you have the magic?"
Oh, the blessing of the ancestors. It courses through your veins. It's as simple as breathing for those who are blessed. I can see from your appearance that you are that you draw power from something.
Is it his ancestors?
I say he's demonic.
My ancestors were eaten after they got too old.
Hey, mine too.
Weak.
Marzena takes that in.
And
Gets it.
sometimes you get
Very
hungry.
concerned about that actually. It kind of like casts a very again looks to Kidana like a life raft because they're the only one who's making sense here. And calls out,
All right. Does anyone else
Can I-
use the magic, or is it just
and she points to the three of them.
Sure, I use magic.
I crunch things.
I haven't
No.
heard you play the sounds.
Oh no! It's not.
Oh, is it the punching
the punching?
with the with
It
the
is the
log?
punching.
I like that magic. Yes.
Yep.
Can I roll a medicine check to determine if like prolonged cannibalism causes like medical concerns?
Are you proficient in medicine?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It
I
gives
love
me the
this.
strength of those I eat.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
source of their power.
Oh, wait.
Like-
Nama like hears that and goes, "Oh, no, okay, my grandparents didn't die like that. That's weird."
Oh, my
You
darling.
eat them after they die, right?
No. We didn't eat them. Someone else
So
did.
yeah,
I
27
see.
medicine.
Well, something else. I don't know how
So
you
while
refer to it.
while cannibalism as an exception is not something that it's something that many tribes and cultures possess,
Mm.
but you know that tribes that indulge in cannibalism often and frequently and regularly tend to just like degenerate into crazy maniacal bloodthirsty
Goblins.
savages. Like
Mm.
you know that it just makes them sick.
Yeah. So, the wisdom of the ancestors is not to be taken like a bite out of a haunch of meat.
He starts
can-
drooling a little bit.
It, in fact, what I have learned from divining with my ancestors and my knowledge of nature and medicine is that it could be dangerous for your health to eat your ancestors in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ulmer doesn't eat anybody.
Like when your head goes a little, kind of the goes a little weird.
Yeah, eating people is usually not good. It's not good for the body, the mind, or the soul.
Doesn't sound very fun.
I have grown stronger.
I mean, I suppose whenever you get hungry enough, though.
I say, please don't eat people around me.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Snaps
Why
to
are we
Balro.
talking about eating people?
Looks down at Balro. You're strong?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Like really strong?
All right, Goku.
I was the strongest in my tribe. Yes.
Oh, I'm the strongest in my tribe too. Awesome.
Well, you are like the twins.
Maybe you'll sometime. Maybe you'll be the strongest in my tribe. If you're joining. Or maybe it'll still be me. We'll see.
Okay.
He's a little small. I think that you
Small
will be
doesn't have to do anything with anything. Strong is
big one. Could I play your skin instruments?
No, I feel like you will eat them.
No,
now
I
that you
only
know
eat
that they
live
are made of
flesh.
skin.
I promise I will not eat your inanimate creature.
Oh my god.
Kaydana looks at Marzena with like the biggest help me kind of look.
Yeah, Marzena is just like, why the fuck did I ever leave? What is this? What is celebs?
I start pulling out Wackus Bonkus.
I want to see.
Are we going to find these people?
I want to see if I can also do the music magic.
I'm starting to walk.
Marzena hooks onto Bellis's words like a lifeline.
Yes, we should go. We should go and return quickly.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
And in her head, just adding,
So I don't have to talk to these fucking people anymore.
she keeps going.
So as we're moving, Kaydana would like to, kind of share her kind of what she's got to offer in this situation. Nama, if you can lead us to a place where it's likely that these folks could have gone. I'm pretty good at tracking. I've had to do that a little bit in my tribe. Also, I know some. I can ask the ancestors where at least one of those people is. They might be able to help me figure it out. But it's talking to ancestors. It's like a whole ritual. It takes time.
Nama kind of looking around. Are they here now?
Oh, my darling, they're always with us.
Can I talk to them?
Okay. Well, sure. Yeah. I was thinking about it, and They're probably in out of character. I don't really have a concept of the region, so Nama would say where she thinks it would be most likely.
Right. So you would know that if they headed off in, so knowing where they were supposed to be going and the route that they likely would have taken,
Sure.
you know that there is a campsite that is about half a day's travel from here in that direction.
Okay.
You know, it's basically a place that it's a secure location that people in your tribe have used as a safe place to spend the night for
Hunters especially, probably.
generations. Yeah. It's like pretty much everybody in your tribe knows where it's at, and you know, it's hidden, it's secure. It's basically just like a
Campsite.
cave in the ground. Yeah.
That's where I suggest.
Cool.
What do
So,
we-
and like I said, it's about a half day's travel, but you also have a dwarf and a goblin.
Yeah,
What
that's
do we
fine.
do for the food?
Oh, and I did tell Bauer to make a perception check. That was a 7. He didn't notice that there was a rat squirrel thing like
Damn.
feet away from him, looking at him.
If Balro does ask about food, I will toss him some of the kind of cured meats that I have on my person.
Yep. It's like you give him like a whole smoked fish.
Yep.
I also have a rabbit.
Yes, it is a dead rabbit.
when
It's
we're
a dead
all
rabbit.
eating-
It's fresh, but it's not been skinned. It hasn't been gutted or cleaned.
All right,
I'm
well,
trying
you
to
got
make
that
friends with the goblin, so
You
When
give
I'm
the goblin.
eating
You give the goblin
frequently-
the rabbit.
yes.
Okay, so
Oh,
you now have a
God.
smoked fish and a dead rabbit.
I give it back. I give the fish back.
then. I take it back. Since the dwarf and the goblin are kind of slower, like I would assume Nama's kind of like leading the way, but like since
I'm actually pretty fast.
Can
okay,
carry them.
that's fair. The dwarf's definitely not, but I would say like as like the stragglers kind of like are falling behind, Nama wouldn't.
Got
Are you trained in survival?
got 2 arms.
Yeah. I am.
Okay, make me a survival check, and I'm going to give you advantage because you're familiar with this region. Okay,
22.
yeah, 20. Man,
Either way.
everybody's
Straight
yeah,
across.
doubles all day long. 22 is perfect.
Mhm.
Going the way you're going, you know that there's a route you can take that basically hugs the mountains more
Okay.
and stays away from like the forested inner region of the valley.
Sure. Where there'd be more predators and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like, hey, this will be a safer route for us to take, and it'll be a little bit quicker.
Yep.
So basically now instead of rolling 3 random encounters, you got to roll 2.
Cool. I'm not doing that.
No, that's fine. So if you guys are heading out, or are you still hanging out?
Heading out.
Chit.
Yeah, I
I
think
thought
we're
we were
going.
walking and talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can
thought
definitely
so.
do that if you'd like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, every time like I kind of get ahead of the group or ahead of the slow person of the party, like as they're kind of walking up on Nama, she's like, got on a tree branch and she's like doing pull-ups, or she's like, she's running in place, like waiting for everybody, or she's doing something like, active, trying to like keep like alert.
I feel like if anyone's too slow, Bellis will just like pick them up by like the scruff and just like put them on her shoulder.
I have a 25 speed, so I'm pretty slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So you're on Bellis's shoulder.
I would say that like Nama's attitude isn't like keep up or like, get catch up or whatever. Like she's more in like
Keep up or get bit.
she understands that she's kind of leading the way and not everyone's going to be as fast as she is. That's fine. And she's fine with that. It's not something she's unfamiliar with, walking with kids in the woods, whatever.
Yeah, and these paths she is leading you to are paths that she has trod many, many times. She's very
Yeah.
So she knows exactly where she's going, and she'll kind of like make sure, like over her shoulder, she'll stop and she'll kind of like watch as everybody's walking it to make
Yeah.
sure like.
I will say I don't understand why a Goliath's speed is only 30 feet.
Yeah, true. They're like
when a
8
dwarf
feet
speed is 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
doesn't really
movement
make
speed
sense.
should be like at least 35 to 40.
Yeah, minimum. Because Golradir moves at 35 feet,
hmm
Just be a barbarian
And-
and get extra movement.
I
True.
suppose.
Chad,
but
can I roll survival to also?
I guess
track-
we're like looking at the trees and like
I'm sorry. What was that, Jizo?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I roll survival to track too?
Yes. Go
I
ahead,
got
roll
survival as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
26. That's totally fine. Like I'm assuming you're looking for like tracks or any sort of indication of these people?
Yeah.
Okay. You definitely see human tracks. You can tell that just like Nama is familiar with this trail, other people are as well. So you can see that some of these are recent, but these more recent steps go like to and from the village. But you also see prints that you are not familiar with. They look more bestial, but you can tell by the placement that whoever made these was walking around on 2 feet and not like 4.
You call that out?
Yeah. Are there beast people living in the village?
Are there beast people living in the village?
I didn't mean to roll that.
No.
No, but you do know that Null's.
So I'd
likely
recognize
a
these as
problem, and you're like,
Okay.
those are Null tracks. And what's more alarming is that you are pretty far in the northern part of the valley.
so they're really close to the village.
Yes, like from what you were aware of, their main area of interest has been like the Thrin colony to the south.
Hmm.
So for them to be roaming this far north is alarming.
When Kaiduna kind of brings this to Nama's attention, she kind of goes, how could the hunters not have seen this? It's so clear now that you pointed out to me. She kind of looks at it like annoyed again, and you see her face kind of twist and like kind of anchored. She goes, and then slams her fist into the stone wall just like suddenly, like very angrily, and kind of goes, I hate gnolls. Why can't they just get along with anyone?
Make an
Okay,
attack roll.
sure. I'm gonna haymaker it, so it's just gonna be like,
knock yourself out.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, 23 definitely. You
It does lots of
the
damage.
stone. You get like you hit this sheet of rock square, and it's one that's kind of hanging off the cliffside, and you're not really aware of the way it's placed there until you hit it, and it splits down the middle, and half of it falls off to the side, and you can see that this sheet of rock that you just punched had kind of split away from the cliff face, and there was like a gap behind it.
Okay, I'll look into that in a second, but this is more for Marzena and Kaiduna. I just punched that rock with my fist. My fist doesn't look like it's damaged. I have an ability that says my hands are magic weapons. So this probably triggers your magical minds for a second. And you can go ahead and, peruse that with your big brain energy. Turkey.
You've seen people punch things before, but that is probably the most remarkable punch you've ever witnessed in person.
Yeah. The thing is, it's super remarkable, but at the same time, super uncalled for. So Marzena is kind of like both in awe and in like, why do they have no control over their emotions?
What's in the gap?
So I want to do stone cutting on that type of rock.
Well, what's in the gap?
See,
you mentioned the gap.
Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't as like
Just-
anything unusual.
oh,
That was
okay.
more to describe the way the stone was sitting against the cliff.
Okay.
Because it's not like I was about to let you split a whole mountain.
I still want to do stone
Not
cutting on
today.
it. See if it was
Not
weak,
yet.
porous stone.
One of these days, though.
Kaiduna will give Marzena the kind of look.
Can I?
Fucking
Bellis
normies, I
is
tell
extremely impressed
Hold on.
and very like proud.
I just want to have an out of character beef real quick. Oh, it's super unnecessary to punch a stone rock for no reason, but it's super necessary to open an ever-smoking bottle in the middle of a village to cover up a spell no one was going to be able to identify.
If I was Marzena, I would have called you out immediately by saying, "Hey, you were supposed to warn me."
Could I? Could I punch the wall as well?
That's fair.
Zinger.
That would
I
have been
mean,
good.
if you, knock yourself out.
would've-
Nick.
I want to see if I am as strong.
Okay.
9.
Aww.
Oh, you tried.
Aww.
That was so cute.
No,
Yep. That's what he does. He walks up and he's like, ah! And he punches the rock and he's like, ah!
Nama says, I can teach you.
I told you he wasn't as blessed by the ancestors.
You
Well,
can
I
teach me to
disagree.
punch like that.
Yeah,
How?
by teaching you.
Okay.
Okay, we can cover that. We definitely can. It'll probably start with you we'll go through training just like everything else. I think Nama is more than proficient enough to teach other people how to punch things.
Yeah.
Um,
If we have like a
So-
stopping moment, like I would literally start drawing
Yeah.
in the dirt. I would draw a square, and then inside of the square, I'd draw a circle, and I'd point out like this is everything in a fight. I would nod to him, and if he has questions, like she doesn't answer, she just goes, "This is everything in a fight."
So this is their arc for season 1. Okay. Their
So
arc for season
while-
1 is Nama teaches Balro how to fight.
While Nama and Balro are like doing their, martial stuff, Kaydana would start, because we've come to a stopping point, right, for a little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
you guys are going to be,
Okay.
Or you guys could just be, doing all this talking on the road.
So, she checks with everyone to see if we can stop for about an hour, and she sets up a little teeny tiny fire.
Before we get to stopping for an hour,
Okay.
I would like 2 people to roll me D100s.
D100s, not me.
I
I'm
can
not
do
doing
one.
Not it.
I'll roll it.
High five, Tito, avoiding
I
responsibility.
got one.
Cool.
51.
Let me
That
find
wasn't
the D100 right.
It's you, Brian. I believe in you. I've always have.
49.
Nice and
Wow.
low line.
Oh, it's so close.
Right? So basically the first one would be, I'm assuming there is what you're getting ready to do is like stop for a short rest.
Yeah,
Or is that what you're trying to do?
that's
What Kaydana is trying to do is stop for to cast locate creature.
I got you. Okay. So that would be stopping to cast that would be after the first roll, and then the second roll is going to be afterwards.
Okay.
I just gotta. Yeah, I just don't really know what to do about it.
Just say it doesn't work.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to improv something and I'm drawing a blank, so I'm trying to work around that real quickly.
You good?
Meanwhile, she just keeps on saying everything, pointing at this diagram she's drawn on the ground.
Right.
Bellis is just like,
I do not know what this means.
It's everything.
Do we
This-
get in or do we stand out?
You've passed the first test. Come with me. And she walks away from the circle, stops on the ground and draws a circle on the ground and says, stand in it.
Okay.
And then draws the square that you're standing in the D&D mentality.
Okay.
This is the best art that I've been able to master and create. You are standing inside of a circle. Always. As you move about in the world, it's a circle above you and around you.
Yes.
But the truth of the fact is the circle is squared. When someone stands next to you, they're not within your circle. They're trying to engage in it. What do you do if someone tries to engage in your circle, Balro?
I eat them.
You don't let them through your square.
I eat them.
Okay.
Most people think of defending themselves inside of their circle. They don't pay attention to the fact that they're also inside of the square.
So I defend the square.
Yes. And by doing so, you defend the circle.
Okay.
When you punch, most people punch for the circle. You and me are going to punch for the square.
Okay.
Follow through. All the way in. All of your power towards the square. The circle in the way, that is what's going to be hit.
Okay.
As you guys are, so Nama's having this conversation with Balro.
Yeah.
So there was a moment where you guys stopped and you kind of you drew the pictogram of the squared circle.
Yeah.
And started explaining the concept, and then you guys got back on the road. But you continued explaining the concept as you did.
Yes.
As you guys are walking along, Kaiduna's considering she's starting to come up with the idea to maybe cast locate creature to help figure things out. And so as you guys are like moving along the trail, you round this bend, and you can see up ahead is a person who they've got their back turned to you, and they're looking at this huge, beautiful flowering tree, and they're standing underneath its branches, and they're kind of cradling a flower. They reach up and they cradle this flower, and they kind of tug it gently towards them. They take a deep breath, and you can hear them singing to the tree. It appears that they are singing to the tree.
Find sense.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and put Divine Sense up there again.
This is what Avran does.
This is exactly what Avran does.
Bow, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, it's like, boys, we got him. He's a fucking paladin.
Why did Avron shrink?
Divine sense.
Okay, let me see. Oh,
I don't trust
At
this.
least it wasn't detect magic.
you got nothing.
Okay, we're good. We're good, folks.
Yeah, right.
We're good. We're good.
Detect
There's
magic.
nothing-
The tree is on fire.
Detect magic.
My eyes!
Oh god.
Josie, I'm so sorry.
That's not very cool, you guys.
I didn't
least
start
you
it,
didn't
but it
lose
is
an arm.
funny.
It was my
Um,
fault. I'll take full blame.
At least you didn't lose an arm and a leg. Okay.
That is true.
That's very
Yeah,
true.
whose fault?
Wait, who
was
lost
that?
a leg?
We're not discussing that, Jizo.
It's like Avran is the only person I've ever known to horribly maim themselves checking themselves out in the mirror.
Fair.
How many people can you say have done
Like, look, man, I cut
And-
myself shaving, but that is taking it way too far.
And that's on vanity.
Where were we?
What's going on? There's
Yeah,
There was a
this person.
someone singing to a
Okay.
tree.
Person and a flower.
Yes, they're singing to the
square
tree
and a
and
circle.
smelling the flowers.
circle.
They,
Can we
Um,
hear the singing?
yes, you can. Do you speak Sylvan?
Absolutely not.
I do.
You can hear this individual singing a song. It's basically espousing upon the
Chad, you have to sing it.
beauty. Oh God, no! Don't make me. You are my sunshine, my only
That's
sunshine.
enough, that's enough.
You
that's
make
enough.
me happy.
I'm using my
when
dwarven
skies are
resilience.
gray.
We're down to
You'll
negative
never
4
know,
viewers.
How much I love you.
I'm pretty sure.
This is like the
I
greatest.
was honestly expecting. Shorty got the apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah.
Because they're sitting in an apple tree.
I got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. They don't seem to notice you because they got their AirPods in.
Yeah.
I use my
okay.
rustic hospitality.
Oh, but because it's prehistory, it's got the wires.
Right.
It's not actually
Yeah.
AirPods. It's actually earbuds.
That's fucking hilarious.
But the
Yeah,
wires
I got
are
these
made
sick
of
beats
leather.
off LimeWire.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Huzzah, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that
remember
good
those
shit.
days.
Prehistory.
that
God.
good.
That's amazing.
love
I
it.
didn't come here
Go
to feel
home.
old.
Gonna go
Why are you
home,
doing this to
rearrange my
us?
top 8. Say what's up to MySpace Tom.
Not another
Oh,
Trojan
God.
virus.
All right.
Y2K,
moving on.
Y2K.
Like I said, you guys round the corner, you see this individual singing to the tree. They're about 50 feet away from you. They don't seem to notice you yet.
Well,
And like
if
I
they're
said, you can hear
singing,
them.
Bellis notices them.
Is the song anything like super relevant? Or
I mean,
of
it's
note?
not like it doesn't have anything to say about Knowles. It seems like this is somebody who just went out for a walk and is enjoying nature.
Not somebody I recognize.
No.
Suspiciously.
No. And if you want to make a perception check,
Yeah. No, I don't think I would. Just...
For everyone?
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Everybody, go ahead. Make a perception check. Cool.
Nah,
Cool.
Bells is just gonna start walking that way.
Yep.
They're making
Yep.
noise.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Marzana definitely, especially with like all the people you've met in your life.
Jeez,
you know
roll
this
some more
person.
fucking 20s.
Jesus
Jesus.
Wow.
Christ!
Well, okay.
Okay.
I asked for it.
Yeah.
I asked for it, Brian. You
You
gave me what I
did.
asked for.
You delivered.
Crits on demand. Jesus.
So, and especially because because of your oath, both Marzana and Aiden would immediately realize this individual is an Eladrin. Kaduna and Balro, you would just notice the ears and probably think they're an elf.
Have I ever eaten this type of meat?
You cannot
No.
eat this type of meat.
No, you
I
know,
Mostly
whisper.
because anytime you have had any sort of like violent altercation with them, they usually disappear and then shoot you full of arrows.
What is did you say Eladrin?
Yes.
An Aladdin. It's
higher
an
than
Aladdin.
higher than high elf.
Mhm.
Like Eladrin are basically
Okay. So
the
out of
descendants of Fey immigrants.
The Lachey's
Yeah.
children.
Like
Um,
first generation.
but they're singing to flowers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
okay.
actually,
so-
with that perception check, you can see as he's singing to the flower, it seems to be blooming and growing.
yeah, she calls out in Druidic. What
I'm
are
so
you
glad
doing
I-
here?
I'm sorry. What was that, Josie?
She calls out in Druidic. What are you doing here?
Ah. He turns around, and as he starts, and because of the way he's holding the flower, as he like kind of jumps back and turns around in surprise, he actually pulls the flower away from the tree, and it like falls out of his hand. And he's like, oh no! And he picks it up and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yes. Hello.
His focus seems to be on Marzana, but as Balro speaks up, he's like, ugh, and like kind of recoils slightly.
I'm so glad I didn't channel divinity.
What language is he speaking in?
Let me see here.
I think you said Sylvan before.
He was singing in Sylvan.
Yeah.
Sylvan, now speaking. Trying to remember. Is Fey a tongue?
Elvish is generic
Elvish.
Fey or Sylvan.
Okay.
I don't know it.
He probably would revert to speaking Elvish.
Does anybody speak that?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
He can
So-
speak common.
Then once he recognizes.
Oh,
that
I
you
have
don't
Elvish. I have
understand-
Elvish.
Okay, yeah. So Marzana's like, hello, and then he does the whole bit with the tree and the flower, and but he says all that in Elvish.
Kaduna will interpret for Marzana.
Okay. As soon as she hears that, she'll call out in Druidic again and see if he seems to even understand her.
Do not be frightened. We are just travelers trying to help.
He relaxes a little bit, although he still casts a nervous glance at Balro.
I say, do not worry about our young goblin.
Okay.
I lean down and I say in Goblin to Balro, I say, stop smiling.
It's the teeth.
Stop smiling. Okay, so
In perfect
let me
Goblin.
see.
by the way.
Druidic, Sylvan, Elvish. So, Marzana is speaking Druidic. Kaduna is speaking Elvish.
Yeah, and I'll interpret anything that the group will want to say in and out of Elvish.
Well, in that
Um,
case, then Bellis would like to know, why did he stop singing?
Oh, you. At this point, he would figure out that Marzana can speak Druidic. So he reverts to Druidic.
God damn
That's funny. Don't worry, he'll figure it out eventually. So he reverts to Druidic and he says, "Oh, well, you startled me."
She says out loud,
He was startled by us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do they not understand me?
No, I have to translate Word Valley. Do you know that?
Yes, and he says that in the common tongue.
Oh.
Hi. Hi, friend. Hi.
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 Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing out?
Hi.
Hi.
Uh,
Please do not be frightened of our goblin friend. Just feed him meat and he'll be fine.
You
okay.
have meat.
I don't. I'm sorry.
That's
I
fine.
pull out another rabbit from the bag.
I look to the Eladrin and say, "Have you seen any people like me?" Or looks over to the group. Her points to Kaduna.
Yes, I have. Many of them?
No, well, recently, a few of our hunters have gone missing.
Well,
If not, that's fine. We'll
Well,
continue looking.
he pauses and he looks to the south, and then he looks back at you and he says, "Well, I I passed a couple people from your well, I'm assuming you're from the village."
Red grasps?
Yes. They there was two of them. I passed them about 5, 6 days ago.
Ooh, that's a little while ago. Yeah, that's about right. Out that way, and I point to the direction we were going.
Yes, the two of them. They were headed that way.
I look
The
back up.
hunters you mentioned, I may have seen them. They were that way, and he points to the south.
Okay.
I they were on the trail of some animal or something.
That sounds like hunters.
I sent it on its way.
I look back at Kaduna. Looks like we're on the right track. And then I look back at the Eladrin and I say, "How about gnolls? Have you seen any gnolls around?"
He kind of pulls an angry face. Ah, yes, those foul creatures.
You can see Nama is
They're everywhere.
pleased by the response. Everywhere, huh? Like
There more and more of them every day. They're coming into the valley.
anywhere nearby here? We're planning on killing a lot of them because they're fighting our hunters for no reason. And well, we can't have that. The villagers are going to go hungry, especially since we're planning on kind of moving a bit. The weather's getting a bit colder than we'd like, and well, yeah.
Yes, the trees are already beginning to turn. Soon it'll the weather will be quite cold. I'll be long gone by then.
Of course. Our wise folk noticed the same thing, and so that was our plan. But we want to make sure that everybody who is a part of our tribe is back safe. And these hunters have gone missing for quite a few days now. So we're just trying to find out if they have... looks back at Kaduna and says, become one with the ancestors?
That's right, Nama.
She smiles.
Exactly.
Turning back to the Eladrin, placing her hands on her waist and just smiling. Yes, gone back to our ancestors, or if they needed rescuing. Stop smiling.
The Eladrin seems to take your meaning.
In Goblin.
The Eladrin seems to take your meaning. He says, "Ah, yes, I understand. It is well, the bond of your community is a powerful one. Well, these hunters, I crossed their path not 3 days ago.
Okay. And those were
like I said, there are quite a bit of gnolls, so I hope they didn't run into any trouble.
Well, there's quite a few of us too, so we should be okay if they have taken them. As long as they haven't gotten to the process of eating them, we should be okay to save them. You think?
Well, I do wish you luck on finding your people.
Of course, and don't worry about the tree. They come back every season. The flowers.
Yes, that is true, but I hate to do more harm than is absolutely necessary. But he
that makes a lot of sense.
At the flower in his hands. and then he steps forward and he like offers it to you.
Oh, well, thanks.
I offer the trinket that I just made from my wood carving kit to the thing. I can't remember what it is.
Ladrin.
It's like a little. You've been working on like a carving of like a bear's head.
Yeah, I give that to
Like,
them. Like, here.
Thank you. Like, he understands the gesture, but you can tell by the look on his face that he finds the act of carving things into wood like unsavory.
It was just a piece of wood on the ground. It's okay.
Like, he understands, but it's not something that it's not something.
Take it,
they
throw it away.
indulge
I
in.
don't care.
Yeah, I know. That's probably what's gonna happen. It's like, thank you, and then like he looks like he's putting it in his pocket, but really drops it on the ground.
Oh,
I see that. I see that.
Roll perception.
If Balro,
No,
if Balro
I'm not going to.
He doesn't really drop it on the ground.
Also known as the age of
I was
full-blown
making
wood.
it funny. And Balro sniffed the flower man. Yes.
I pass it to Balro.
He looks down as you sniff him, and he like kind of grabs at the hem of his robes, like pulls him away from you, and he's like, "Stop that!"
And then Goblin, come on, be nice.
Yes.
I wanted to see what they smell like.
Well, we'll go and check for the hunters that you said were to the south and see if we can't find them. And if barring that, we'll return back to this spot and head that way.
Very well. Like I said, I do hope you find your missing people.
Absolutely.
As they're kind of parting ways, Kaydana will approach and say, "Thank you for tolerating our dear goblin friend.
Everyone hates the goblin.
There's something wrong with him because his ancestors all ate each other. But it seems like he's doing good."
In Elvish, right? You said that?
In Elvish.
Okay.
Like, as soon as you mentioned that his ancestors all ate each other, you see him go. I'm sorry. They what?
It's true.
Oh, that was perfect.
Cannibal tribes, you know. What can you do?
That was perfect.
That's how revolting. And he says how revolting in common.
It is. It is.
We just hear Elvish, Elvish, Elvish. How revolting!
And she'll kind of give him like an understanding kind of nod, and then move forward with the group.
Can you smell him one more time before he leaves? Before we leave?
You do, and he gives you a flower.
Aww.
I would say, I would ask, the hunting ground that he's kind of gesturing towards, where the hunters were, he last saw them, do I kind of have an idea of where that's at?
Yeah, there's not really any sort of like, it's not an area, there's basically like an area.
Does it have like a specific game trail?
Yeah, it's like we have safe routes through these areas, but once you go into this area, it's pretty much just
It's a
free for
specific
all.
ground. Got
Like,
it.
anything can happen to you. Like, all the predators are there, all the prey is there.
Okay. I'd explain
Big
that
game?
to the group. There's a lot of predatory creatures out here where we're going to be going.
Cool.
Possibly
Small game.
outside of Knowles. So we have a lot more to worry about than just that.
And okay, so after that would be okay. So we're getting on to about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So once you guys part ways with this Eladrin, Marzana, and okay, so let me see here. Marzana is a druid. Kayduna, you're trained in nature, correct?
I'm not. I'm a cleric.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you said you were okay. So I guess this would probably just be Marzana. You said you weren't trained in Arcana.
I do have Arcana.
Oh, you are trained in Arcana, and you are trained in nature.
I'm not trained in nature.
What? You're a druid that you're not trained in? What?
I'm not trained in nature.
She's an astral druid. Come
I'm a
on.
different
okay.
kind of druid.
Yeah, it's magic. God.
We
Like the-
didn't really
it's like-
live amongst the trees. We lived in our own. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing.
It's like the difference between a biologist and an astrobiologist.
They're different.
Yeah.
Pretty good way of looking at it.
They're just
I don't know shit about dogs. Okay, so go ahead and roll me Arcana, especially
Sure.
since you're a druid.
different. Ooh.
Good roll.
That's a
I'm
pretty
failed
flower.
Knowledge
That's
now.
a pretty flower.
Cool.
I will spend my inspiration to let her get the 17.
That's a very special flower.
Damn it.
Cool.
The flower
she'll
that he gave
take it
me?
in. She'll see that it's very magical. She'll just kind of smile, nod her head at him, and walk away.
We have 2 of them.
No, the one that was given to Bauro. I imagine that you'd be like, "Oh, that flower is very special. I wonder if the other one is too." And they'd look at it and you'd be like, "No, that's just a flower."
Okay.
Because he kept sniffing the guy, and the guy was like, "I'll give you something else to sniff. Here's a flower."
Gotcha.
So the flower that Balro has is magical?
Barrow
It's
has
not magical.
2
Not
flowers
magical.
because the flower that Nama got, she gave to
Oh,
Balro.
okay, so yeah. Okay, I didn't realize Bauro had both flowers.
Balro
Okay.
has the flower that was pulled from the stem and then
You're
given
right.
to Nama, and the flower that was given to Balro to get rid of Balro.
Fair.
Okay, so I have both flowers.
I've got 2 flowers. I got 2 flowers.
He's 2-fisting flowers.
Hey.
Someone should braid them into his hair.
Deal.
Oh, he looks so cute.
Deal. You've got a good idea.
Falls asleep, wakes up all dolled up, makeup everywhere.
He's
Most
actually
beautiful
a
goblin in
girl.
all the land.
Wow, Balro, it turns out you were one of us all along.
One of us. One of us.
Yes.
So, as you guys move on, it appears you guys are heading on down south. Okay, cool. You guys are heading on down south.
to the
And
hunting grounds.
does Kaiduna still want to stop and cast Locate Creature?
Sure. I mean, if like the party or particularly Nama, who's familiar with the territory ish, at this point, since we're kind of in more uncharted areas, if she thinks it's safe to stop, Kaiduna would like to consult.
Yeah, again, if you think it'll be helpful, we can go for it. That's fine. And if we've got some time to just sit about, that's okay too. I mean, I can be practicing, training. There's probably stuff.
Can Balro hunt while she casts the spell?
Yeah, I think for lack of a better explanation, this is going to be a short rest. Like pretty much for everybody except for Kaiduna, because Kaiduna's going to be busy doing other things.
Sure. My Moxie's already full, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's really spent too many resources. So, for this 1 hour, you have 1 hour of downtime. If you want to go hunting, that's fine. If you want to go like
big game.
Dip survival.
Okay, I mean that's less hunting and more looking for a fight.
Do you have survival?
Do I
Yes.
have
Do you
it?
have survival?
I
no.
have survival. I'll go hunting with him.
I have perception.
Doesn't really help.
Yeah.
I have survival. I will go hunting with him.
So if you're going hunting with him, I'm gonna need you to roll survival.
Do it.
You got a 21.
Yes.
What do you want to go hunting for?
Big game. Big game.
Okay. We will get back to that. Anybody else doing anything?
No. Yeah, I mean, just again, practicing.
Practicing.
Yeah, Marzena's just gonna go like 100 paces away from them and start consulting her star chart.
So I try to teach Jonah how to hunt with survival. as well.
Yeah, you're like
Oh.
kind of explaining like the process of looking for signs that aren't directly animal related, but more like animal adjacent, like a broken branch and stuff like this, as opposed to like footprints and stuff like that. So, you're kind of covering the basics as you're creeping through the woods. With a 21 survival, it doesn't take long before you come across the trail of a herd of triceratopses.
Triceratops. I'm like, let's settle down.
Yummy.
These are big creatures, so
Let's go hunt some big game. Too big.
Too big.
we probably need the rest of the party to take on these triceratops.
I mean, if
they
you were going
are
hunting, even
herbivores.
like one would be, like one might be great for like the whole village.
Yeah.
We hunt.
I'm like, I think we need to go medium game now.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're not taking out this big thing. I see you licking your lips and salivating. But let's work on the tree squirrel up here.
But it might be small.
Yeah.
What
if you
about
wanna
the
go
rabbit
hunting
we
for
caught?
something more like a deer?
Yeah, we need a deer.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me another survival. I'm gonna go ahead and give you advantage on this one because you're kind of downgrading.
I probably failed this one.
Yeah, you got a 20. You pick up the trail of a deer.
No, nice.
You're on the trail of a deer.
Cool. I'm like, all right.
You guys are actively tracking it and trying to close in on it. I'm gonna need some stealth rolls.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm not good at that.
I'm not good at stealth.
Oh.
Jesus hasn't been born yet.
This is prehistory.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
The deer hears me.
You're like, oh, look, deer tracks. You're like, it's this way. Okay, be very quiet. He's like, okay. You turn right around and you just step on you step on a frog.
Branch.
You step on a frog.
The massive
and it goes
skull.
And I pick up the frog and give it to Balro.
Toss that
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
I got your food.
Alro, don't toss the frog. Oh my gosh.
Can I toss it really hard so it just fucking flies through the air?
Oh my God.
Oh, I thought when you said toss it, I thought you meant ate it.
No, just
yeah. You should have just ate it.
Just toss it back.
Wasting food.
Yep.
I knew it.
Is Balro fast enough to catch up to a deer?
No.
Deers move 50 feet.
And the deer is already gone.
Damn it.
And they're just gonna dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen a deer, but that's what they do.
On
Yeah, they
dasher,
zoom.
on dasher, on dasher, on dasher.
I live in New York. I don't.
Do you have any
Oh,
ranged weapons, Balro?
I have a club.
Oh.
I mean,
not
deer are
gonna help
basically
us.
what was that? That could be anything. It could even be a bear. I better run.
True.
If it was a bear, I think we could have taken it ourselves.
I mean, probably a bear. But we'll
I
see
think
about
we could
that.
have taken a triceratops.
Cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways,
Promise you couldn't have.
so your hunting
Classic
excursion,
Jonah.
you guys are gone for the better part of an hour when you return empty-handed, except maybe with a squished frog. Except
Nope.
no, I think he
Toss.
fucking took that.
No, yeah, he tossed
I
that.
yeeted it.
No.
I yeeted it.
He yeeted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
He said, "Fuck this shit."
Eats
You
it
know when
now.
you take something really small, and then you just fucking launch it?
yeah. Yep.
Wasteful.
Too bad you weren't by a river or pond. You could have skipped it. That would have been hilarious. Skipping a frog.
That's
So-
a skill.
Nama is working out.
Yep.
Bellis is just hanging out?
Yeah.
Kaydunna would have asked for Bellis's help.
Oh, okay.
Kaydunna would have started to do a little bit of a little dance around the fire.
Oh, so you need some beats.
A little
And she would
dance,
say,
make a little love.
Bellis, my
It's
dear,
Saturday night.
can you play the music for me? Play it for the ancestors.
Yeah. So starts
so
playing it.
with the inspired by the beat, she would raise up her hands and start speaking in tongues and calling out for guidance.
You're so
Ancestors.
Cast the spell, or did you already throw it up there?
Yeah, it's
locate
up there.
creature. Describe or name a creature is familiar to you. Sense the direction to the creatures. If you're looking, are you looking for a creature or are you looking for an individual?
Well, the spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind. So I think I'd be looking for like the closest human that's not one of us.
I mean, the way it's worded, you'd have to specify human, and that would, of course, give you Nama. I know what you're trying to get to.
Well, our tribe has a number of different species. Would I know that the hunters are all
that
human
is
or no?
true. Well, I mean, Omra's human. You know his grandson's human.
Omradah's human, yeah.
And you know that Darin, who's basically like the best warrior in the tribe, he's somebody that taught you a lot of the basics, but when you started focusing on fisticuffs, that was kind of outside his wheelhouse.
What's his race?
He is also human.
Is there anyone in the group that isn't human?
Of the hunters, yes.
And are they a race that's not currently present?
Right. So let me think here.
Tabaxi?
Can she say mystic?
Mystic?
Yeah, because isn't Rod
well, I mean,
a specific
mystic
kind. I mean,
wonder
it's
if
a
that-
kind of person.
Yeah.
A kind of creature.
Well,
Oh, ancestors, let us know, where is the nearest mystic? Arakaka, rakaka.
What are you doing? Second door.
Well, okay. I will say that basically, okay, so I'm just gonna give this one to you. I'm gonna let you look for the exact people you're looking for, and I'm gonna tell you that none of them are within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay.
Okay.
We have that spell up for an hour, so we can move with it. It doesn't have to
That
hold
is
there.
true. That is true.
So we're basically
and you guys are you haven't crossed over into like the big wildland area. You guys are just outside of it.
So Kaydonna will be going around with the beacon, and we'll basically start moving into that space once Aiden and Balro return from hunt time.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, beginning next session, we'll have locate creature up for its full duration, and we'll have Balro and Aiden returning to the camp as the ritual or spell is completed.
Well, to be sure, I don't know if it's different for order domain. Is it a special feature that lets you cast it as for an hour duration, or are you just allowed to cast locate creature normally?
It's my order domain. Hold on.
Because if you're just able to cast it normally, it's an action to cast it.
Yeah.
It
So
lasts.
Oh my bad. Oh my god.
It's
Oh,
okay.
I'm such a
It's
doofus.
okay.
It's okay.
Nobody
It's
did
okay.
anything. Yeah. So it's like while they're out hunting, you could be wandering around doing other stuff.
Also, I love the I love the flavor of like, it's not so much you're just casting it. There's also like this kind of lead up to it. And
definitely. That is definitely leaning into the flavor I really want to go for.
Is it like
bonus points for that?
Well, I totally read the casting time as 1 hour.
The duration.
But yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of our rest, then I can mechanically it'll kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Is that fair?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then at the end of that rest, so basically everybody got the benefit of a long short rest. Not that anybody really needed it, but at the conclusion of that hour, when you cast that and everybody kind of gets up and moving around again, you'll have the full duration of that spell.
as we all know.
Balro and Aiden will have returned empty-handed.
And we'll
Cool.
we'll be breaking from that point with an hour's worth of that spell into the wildlands as we start to search for the missing party.
Excellent.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great. Anybody have
Cool
any
beans.
questions?
Nope.
All right, then this is where we will call it for tonight.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you
Awesome.
everybody
Well,
for
that's
watching.
it.
Thank you everybody for showing up.
I'm a player.
Yay!
All right.
Yay!
And
So this
I'm looking forward to the next one. This is gonna be awesome.
Way to go, Chad.